Chapter 1401 New Spell, Bone Hell. Lin Mo carefully examined the spell information. Bone Hell Fusion Degree 150% transforms the designated area into a Bone Hell. The Bone Hell will connect to the Hell of the Underworld, and all enemies within it will be attacked by the power of Hell. If you die in the Bone Hell, your true spirit will enter Hell and become a slave of Hell. The slaves of Hell will not truly die, they will constantly be reborn in Hell, unless Hell is destroyed, otherwise they will never be able to escape for all eternity. As the master of Bone Hell, you will receive the protection of Hell. The more people killed by Bone Hell, the safer you will be. Bone Hell will find all those who attack you and mark them. Once marked, they will not be able to escape your soul lock. There was a lot of spell information, very detailed. Looking at this information, Lin Mo, the master, felt a sense of trepidation. Fortunately, this spell is mine. If it belonged to someone else, it would really be a headache. Although he hadn't used it yet, Lin Mo could also see that Bone Hell was extremely powerful. But how powerful it was, he would only know after trying it. After carefully analyzing the spell's several characteristics, Lin Mo already understood this spell. First of all, the enemies who died in the Bone Hell would become slaves of the Bone Hell, that is, his own slaves, because he was the master of the Bone Hell. These slaves were immortal and could be resurrected in the Bone Hell after death. That is to say, as long as he didn't die, these slaves would continue to exist. As more and more people were killed and more slaves were created, the Bone Hell would become stronger and stronger. Secondly, as the number of slaves increased, the Bone Hell's defense against him would also increase. Among the 4 spells that were originally fused, there was a defensive bone armor, which was also inherited. Finally, the most important effect for Lin Mo was that the Bone Hell could mark the enemies who attacked him. Once marked, they would not be able to escape his soul lock. As long as they were soul locked, corpse explosion could be used. After Bone Hell completed its fusion, the large iron pot flew back. At this time, the luster of the infinite fusion spell constellation became dim, as if it had just consumed a lot of power. Even with the power of divinity and the supplement of the giant tree of talent, it could not make up for it. It conveyed weak information to Lin Mo, as if saying, "I'm so tired." However, it did not rest, and continued to fuse the 3 forces, passing them on to the remaining spell constellations to complete the final promotion. At this moment, it was more like an excellent commander than before, leading all the spells. Even if it was tired, it had to finish what it had to do. Lin Mo's heart moved, and his soul appeared beside infinite fusion, reaching out and gently stroking its surface. The way it looked was like stroking a child. Lin Mo could feel the joy transmitted from infinite fusion, and its weak spirituality instinctively expressed its closeness to Lin Mo. Lin Mo felt that this little guy was like an immature doll, treating him as the closest person. Finally, the divine province cauldron fell back to its original place, no longer irrigating the power of divinity. The giant tree of talent also retracted its branches, no longer connecting to the spell constellations. The promotion of the spell constellations had reached its end, about to end. The turbid mist gradually dissipated, as if the clouds were cleared and the sun was seen, and the spell constellations shone brightly again. Each spell constellation was much larger than before. The aura emanating from them was also becoming more and more powerful. Especially in the summoning spells, the 9 spell constellations were connected together, forming a 9-star spell. The undead hidden within seemed to be shouting in unison in the spell constellations, their aura majestic and astonishing. Lin Mo let out a long sigh of relief, it's finally over. The promotion to God King was generally very smooth, without any bumps or bottlenecks. The main reason was that his foundation was strong enough, and he had cleared the way forward long ago, so naturally there would be no problems. Next, it's time to see what my spells have become. Lin Mo began to receive information, receiving information from the giant tree of talent and from the spell constellations. He was like a marshal, inspecting his troops. The giant tree of talent swayed, occupying 2/3 of the soul world, with countless vines and branches hanging down, exuding a majestic vitality, making the entire soul world full of vitality. Several branches fell onto Lin Mo's soul, sticking close to it, expressing their affection. Although not as spiritual as infinite fusion, the giant tree of talent still possessed instinct. Supreme Tier 4 spell amplification by 400 times, all members of the Undead Legion share damage, share life and spirit, and receive 4 times less damage. The Undead Legion and the Master will be reborn when they receive fatal damage, instantly returning to their peak state. All spells reset cooldown, and can be reborn once every 30 seconds. Unsurprisingly, the talent has been enhanced again. It has been upgraded from Tier 3 to Tier 4. Spell amplification has been increased to 400 times, and this amplification can be enjoyed by almost all spells. Just the enhancement of talent can allow Lin Mo's Undead Legions to step onto a new level. Damage is reduced by 4 times, defense is enhanced again, and it is also an all-round enhancement. Lin Mo has always believed that his greatest strength is not attack, but defense. In addition to the rebirth effect in the talent, this is also where his confidence lies. Even in the face of a little god, Lin Mo is not afraid at all. I may not be able to kill you, but you can't kill me either. If you let me use my trump card, I can kill you. After reading his talent, Lin Mo began to examine his various spells. First, the changes of the 2 major source spells. Power Gathering Fusion Degree 150% consume soul power to enter the power gathering state. In the power gathering state, inherit the power and spells of all summons, break through the original level, and explode with power beyond the limit. The power gathering state will continue to consume soul power. As the soul power weakens, the power gathering state will continue to weaken. During this period, you can kill creatures to obtain their power to maintain the power gathering state. The power gathering state has great pressure on the body and soul. Overuse may lead to self-explosion and death. Strong Soldier Fusion Degree 150% consume soul power to enter the Strong Soldier state. In the Strong Soldier state, the damage caused by yourself and all summons is increased by 10 times. The Strong Soldier state will continue to consume soul power, and the consumed soul power can be supplemented by killing enemies. In the Strong Soldier state, part of the obtained soul power can be absorbed and retained as your own power. However, foreign soul power has impurities, so it is best to refine and purify it before absorbing it. In addition to the increase in fusion, the 2 source spells have not changed essentially. However, Lin Mo was not surprised. The 2 major source spells are already powerful enough. If they become stronger, it would be a bit unreasonable. Everything, no matter how strange, has rules and reasons. In the dark, everything has a balance, and the big world will not allow things that destroy the balance to appear. After checking the source spells, Lin Mo began to check other spells one by one. First the passive spells, then the curse spells, and finally the summoning spells. Store. Note: information about talent spells and the Undead Legion is still in the work-related section. The main text does not pull up the panel. There are too many words on the panel. Adding them together, there are several thousand words, so I won't waste everyone's money. Chapter 1402 Dare to Fight Even Against God. Unsurprisingly, the passive spells and soul curses, in addition to the increase in fusion, from 110% to 150%. The effect has also changed slightly, but there is no essential change. Among them, the cooldown time of Undead has been reduced to 120 seconds, which is 2 minutes. In 2 minutes, the Undead can have 5 chances to be resurrected. It is an improvement compared to the previous 150 seconds. The damage reduction effect of physical resistance, elemental resistance, and damage transfer has all been increased to 3 times. Coupled with talent, Lin Mo's damage reduction has exceeded millions of times. Lin Mo once fought against a god. It will no longer be easy for ordinary low-level gods to kill him. At least it won't be like before, where an attack combined with soul tracking can kill him in 1 round, directly triggering his talent. The power of corpse explosion has also been improved, from 110% of the corpse's vitality before death to 150%, which is a great improvement. This also gave Lin Mo more confidence. Even in the face of a god, he has enough confidence. The 3 major curse spells have not changed. The increase in fusion has made their attacks stronger, and the time curse formed by their fusion has also become stronger. Lin Mo estimates that with the time curse, he can completely kill enemies in the same realm as himself, and severely damage the 2nd and 3rd levels of the God King. Even people with higher realms will be affected. Even if they are not injured, the pain at the soul level is still difficult to avoid. 467 is very useful for interrupting the enemy's spells, harassing, and controlling the field. These spells are already very strong, but if you want to go further, you need creativity, time, and opportunity, all of which are indispensable. Especially opportunity, this kind of thing is hard to come by. Just like that skeletal hell that appeared in this fusion was an opportunity. If it weren't for the mysterious iron block given by Xu Jiangxing, skeletal hell would not have been successfully fused. Now the stellar energy of the infinite fusion spell has been exhausted, and the giant tree of talent and the power of God cannot help it recover. I don't know when the next fusion will be, and I don't know if it will be successful. After reading the other spells, Lin Mo finally focused his attention on the summoning spells. Summoning spells make up the 9-star spells, and they are also Lin Mo's signature spells. The Undead Legion has always been one of his most important means of dealing with enemies. Whether it is the Skeleton King, or the later mutated Legion ruler, and the Skeleton God General who once shined and slaughtered countless demons. All have powerful combat power. This series of spells alone satisfies all the requirements from top combat power to quantity. Even if taken out separately, they can become a powerful inheritance. What's more, they can also form a 9-star spell system. The 9-star spells are legendary in the big world. The mutual influence of spells greatly increases the power of the spells. The first thing Lin Mo saw was the strongest of the summoning spells. Summon Skeleton King Fusion Degree 150%. Fuse the power of skeletons to summon the Skeleton King. A minimum of 1 million skeletons and a maximum of 100 million skeletons are required. Summoning the Skeleton King will not make the skeletons disappear, nor will it weaken the power of the skeletons. The increase in fusion has increased the upper limit of summoning the Skeleton King by 10 times. Previously, it could only fuse the power of 10 million skeletons at most, but now it is enough to fuse the power of 100 million skeletons. The previous Skeleton King had reached the 9th level of the God King, and now it is at least a little god. Coupled with the blessing of talent, Lin Mo felt that his Skeleton King was fully capable of competing with Little Bright King Buddha. He thought of Xiao Sheng not far away. Also a little god, Lin Mo felt that Xiao Sheng might be stronger than his Skeleton King. There is also a question of whether he can summon 100 million skeletons to summon. However, according to the interrelationship of spells, the scale of the Undead Legion will definitely increase significantly after this promotion. You will know when you try it later. Lin Mo tried to feel the remaining summoning spells, and they all became stronger. Skeleton God Warrior, Skeleton God Mage, Skeleton Soul Shooter. The 3 basic skeletons have all reached the 3rd level of the God King. The Skeleton God General formed by their fusion will be able to reach the 8th level of the God King. Death Knight and Bone Dragon have both reached the 4th level of the God King. Their Legion ruler's combat power directly reached the 9th level of the God King, comparable to the Skeleton King before the promotion. The number of commanders has not changed, it is still 100,000 as before. With 100,000 as an army, commanded by a Legion ruler. The total number of undead rebirth has reached 10 million, and the maintainable time has also reached 10 ADFB, 0 days. Only Elemental Lich has not changed. The strength of the Elemental Lich has nothing to do with Lin Mo's realm. To need a powerful Elemental Lich you need high-level, high-quality materials, otherwise Lin Mo is also a clever woman who cannot cook without rice and is helpless. Finally, the promotion is completely over, and the rest is to test the spells and replenish the Undead Legion. Lin Mo slowly opened his eyes. His mind returned from the soul world, feeling the powerful power rising from all directions of his body, as if he could blow up stars with every move. This is not an illusion, the body of the God King can indeed do this. When he clenched his fist, his blood boiled and his whole body bloomed with brilliant golden light. The golden body of the God King shone in the void, and the huge squeezing pressure of the 9th layer area could no longer cause harm to Lin Mo. Although Lin Mo's golden body of the God King is only at the 1st level, it is enough to resist. This is the power of the God King realm, it is indeed different. Lin Mo muttered to himself. The soul and body have both become stronger, giving Lin Mo sufficient confidence. Even if he faced a god now, he would dare to fight. At this time, Lin Mo felt that someone was watching him, and a gaze crossed thousands of miles of space and fell on him. Lin Mo looked at the gaze and saw Xiao Sheng. Congratulations. Xiao Sheng was concise, but full of sincerity. Lin Mo flew to Xiao Sheng and said, "Senior, you are too polite. This junior is far from enough." Xiao Sheng chuckled, "No need to be modest. Among the human race, a perfect advancement is a rare sight, not even one in 100 years. In my era, there were only 2 besides me. In this era, I estimate there are only a handful. The conditions for a perfect advancement are too harsh, making it difficult to achieve. Those who can achieve it are all top geniuses, the sparks that keep the human race's flame alive. Xiaosheng looked at Lin Moyu and slowly said, "Do you know how to continue improving the physical body in the God King realm?" Lin Moyu's heart stirred. "Please enlighten me, senior." Xiaosheng said in a low voice, "The physical body in the God King realm is different from that in the true God realm. With each advancement in level, the strength will increase significantly, far more exaggerated than the improvement in cultivation realm. To put it bluntly, a physical body cultivator at the first level of the God King realm can easily crush a soul cultivator of the same realm. Half of my past achievements were built on my physical body." Lin Moyu believed that what Xiaosheng said was true. The benefits of a strong physical body were indeed significant. There were even rumors that with a powerful physical body, one punch could destroy all laws. What are laws in the face of true power? Like that squeezed and deformed star of laws deep within, no law could withstand such immense power. A desire for a powerful physical body arose in Lin Moyu's heart. Xiaosheng pointed to the 10th level area. "Go to the 10th level, and you can raise your physical body to the 2nd level of the God King realm." Note: information about talent spells and the Undead Legion is still in the work-related section. No panels in the main text. The panel words are too many, adding up to several thousand words, not to waste everyone's money. Chapter 1403, Creatures of the Wonderful Land. After the God King realm, the difficulty of improving the physical body increases significantly. Lin Moyu had thought about the possibility of raising his physical body to the 2nd level of the God King realm in the 10th level area. Having seen some talented clansmen cultivating here, Lin Moyu had already guessed what they sought, to comprehend laws and improve their physical bodies. However, this method of improvement is not very fast. Lin Moyu glanced at the dark void, then retracted his gaze, and cupped his hands towards Xiaosheng. "Thank you for your guidance, Senior Xiao. May I ask, Senior, how much time did it take you to break through to the God King realm?" Xiaosheng said in a low voice, "Not long, 1 year and 3 days. Lin Moyu was a little surprised. How could Xiaosheng calculate it so clearly? He himself had some perception, roughly a year, but Xiaosheng was accurate to the day. There was less than 3 years left until the 4-star region competition. Lin Moyu asked again, "In the 10th level area, how long would it take to raise the physical body to the 2nd level of the God King realm?" Xiaosheng looked at Lin Moyu. "You are very young." Lin Moyu did not answer, taking it as a default. Indeed, he was very young, only 35 years old. Among the human race, many at this age are still ordinary people, far from the transcendent God realm. A 35-year-old God King realm cultivator seemed unprecedented in the history of the human race. Lin Moyu still needed to participate in the 4-star region competition, and he didn't have much time. Moreover, the human seniors he had seen before seemed to have been here for quite some time. Lin Moyu felt that using the squeezing force of the wonderful land to improve his physical body was indeed a gentle and harmless method, but it would take a long time. Xiaosheng said, "In the 10th level area, it would take about 100 years to raise the physical body to the 2nd level of the God King realm." 100 years. Lin Moyu was speechless. He couldn't afford to spend that much time at all. Too gentle a method would result in a lot of time. This method was clearly not suitable for him. Violent and dangerous methods like Star Flash and Fire Flash were his way to break through. Lin Moyu was slightly disappointed. "Is there a faster way?" 100 years is too long. Xiaosheng looked at Lin Moyu, and after a long time, he repeated, "You are really young." His words seemed to have a deeper meaning, then he sighed, "Alas, there is a way, but it is very dangerous." Lin Moyu's eyes lit up. "Please enlighten me, Senior Xiao." Xiaosheng's gaze turned to the core star of laws in the wonderful land. The answer was self-evident. The 10th level area was not the end of the wonderful land, but the end of the area where humans could cultivate. Beyond the 10th level area, the squeezing force would be even stronger, exceeding the limit of tolerance. Even if the squeezing force exceeded the limit of tolerance, the help to the physical body improvement would be minimal, even counterproductive. Since Xiaosheng said so, there must be something special there, and this special thing must be accompanied by danger. Xiaosheng seemed hesitant, but under Lin Moyu's sincere gaze, he finally revealed the answer. After passing the 10th level area, fly tens of millions of kilometers towards the Star of Laws, you will enter the core area of the wonderful land. In the core area, the squeezing force will become even stronger and more chaotic. Some areas will suddenly erupt with squeezing force several times greater than normal, which will not only damage the physical body but also the soul. At the same time, the huge squeezing force will make it difficult to mobilize laws. Of course, you are a perfect advancement God King, and your control over laws has reached the micro level, so the impact in this regard is minimal. Speaking of this, Xiao Sheng's voice stopped. He saw that there was no change in Lin Moyu's expression, obviously not taking these dangers to heart. He guessed that Lin Moyu should have some trump cards. Generally speaking, this kind of genius-level figure has the strength to fight across realms. Looking at just the first level of the God King realm, he might be able to compete with the fourth or fifth level of the God King realm. After a few seconds of pause, he continued, "There lives a kind of creature, they are the root of rapid physical body improvement." Lin Moyu's eyes finally changed, there were actually creatures. Xiao Sheng noticed the change in Lin Moyu and sighed again, "You are very much like me when I was young, high-spirited and sharp." Everyone who knew Xiao Sheng knew that Xiao Sheng was a typical representative who fought his way up. When he was young, he was like an extremely sharp sword, everyone had to avoid his edge. At that time, even if Xiao Sheng encountered the most solid shield, even if the sword broke, he would rather suffer both losses. But now Xiao Sheng, Lin Moyu felt that he was full of twilight, the sword was rusty, and the sharpness was gone. Lin Moyu really wanted to ask what happened that could make a top genius become like this. Xiao Sheng continued at this moment, "That kind of creature is very special, called the Wonderful Spirit. They can manipulate the squeezing force in the void to attack. This attack seems to be some kind of law, but it seems different from other laws. Killing them can enhance the physical body. The more you kill, the faster the physical body will be enhanced." Lin Moyu asked, "What is the strength of the Wonderful Spirits?" Xiao Sheng said, "It's okay, some are strong and some are weak. The weak ones are only at the second or third level of the God King realm, and the strongest can reach the 9th level of the God King realm. Their distribution is not even, there is no specific area. You may encounter a 9th level God King realm Wonderful Spirit as soon as you enter, or you may not encounter one even after staying inside for several years." Uneven distribution, Lin Moyu silently noted. It seems that this is also one of the dangers, but in fact, if you think about it carefully, this danger does not exist. To enter the area where the Wonderful Spirits are located, you must first pass through the 10th level. But to pass through the 10th level, the basic condition is the physical body of the God King realm. From what he had seen before, except for Xiao Sheng, no one had reached the physical body of the God King realm. Even if someone achieved the physical body of the God King realm 477, his strength would at least be at the 9th level of the God King realm. Like the 3 on the 8th level, they are probably at this level. If they enter the area where the Wonderful Spirits are located, they should not be afraid even if they encounter the strongest Wonderful Spirit. But when Xiao Sheng mentioned the Wonderful Spirits, he was obviously apprehensive. Obviously, the danger is more than that. Lin Moyu thought a lot in an instant, thinking things through clearly. This was his habit, and it had almost formed an instinct. Xiao Sheng's voice rang again, "After the Wonderful Spirits die, they will directly enhance the physical body. This enhancement is very violent and unreasonable. Once you can't bear it, the physical body will directly collapse, and the soul will be exposed to the huge squeezing force." Before he finished speaking, Xiao Sheng's face suddenly showed a look of pain. In an instant, his face turned pale. Although he was in the cold void, beads of sweat oozed from Xiao Sheng's forehead. He was trembling all over, not the kind of shaking against the squeezing force, but trembling because of pain. This pain originated from the soul. Lin Moyu could feel the fluctuations of Xiao Sheng's soul, which were very chaotic. Without much thought, a skeleton god warrior appeared beside him, and Lin Moyu simultaneously activated his undead vision. Undead vision allowed him to directly observe the soul fire. Under the undead vision, Lin Moyu saw that although Xiao Sheng's soul fire was vigorous, it was full of cracks, as if it could collapse at any moment. All the pain originated from this. Chapter 1404. The weakest god lord in history. The pain of the soul is unbearable for ordinary people. Xiao Sheng's body couldn't stop trembling, making it hard to imagine how astonishing the pain he was enduring was. Yet, he still straightened his body. His tall and sturdy figure was like a high mountain, only this mountain was shaking. His mouth was tightly closed, and he didn't make a sound. All the pain was suppressed within his body. His fists were clenched tightly, as if the void was about to be crushed, constantly emitting booming sounds. Waves of immense and invisible power crashed in all directions, instantly pushing Lin Moyu back 10,000 meters. Lin Moyu saw golden light flowing on Xiaosheng's body surface. It was also a God King golden body, but Xiaosheng's God King golden body was clearly stronger than his own. His physical body has at least reached the third order of God King. Senior brother Xiao's soul. Lin Moyu felt that Xiaosheng's soul was somewhat strange. It seemed to be at the lesser God Lord level, slightly stronger than the lesser Bright King Bodhisattva. But upon closer inspection, it seemed to be much stronger than the lesser Bright King Bodhisattva, as if it had entered another level. There were no other realms between lesser God Lord and God Lord. After lesser God Lord came God Lord. This also puzzled Lin Moyu. After a long while, Xiaosheng's soul gradually stabilized, and Xiaosheng's whole person began to relax. He was like someone who had experienced a terrifying battle, and his entire being had exhausted a great deal of power. Lin Moyu flew back. Senior brother Xiao's soul is injured. Xiaosheng revealed a hint of a smile. I was too reckless back then. I killed several mysterious spirits of the ninth order God King in one breath, and my physical body couldn't withstand it and collapsed. It was quite unlucky, and my soul happened to be squeezed as well. Without Xiaosheng needing to continue, Lin Moyu could already guess what happened afterward. His physical body collapsed, and his soul was exposed to immense squeezing pressure. Originally, with Xiaosheng's soul strength, even if he faced strong squeezing pressure, he could have held on for a while. With Xiaosheng's status, he would definitely have some life-saving items. Whether it was escaping back or reshaping his physical body on the spot, it wasn't impossible. At the very least, he could temporarily entrust his soul to a magical treasure, which would be enough for him to escape back. But unfortunately, he was unlucky. At the same time that his physical body collapsed, he happened to encounter a burst of squeezing pressure, which hit his soul hard. His soul was severely damaged, and soul injuries are the most troublesome injuries. Minor injuries are fine, but severe injuries are a headache. Judging from the soul fire he had just seen, Xiaosheng's soul was already on the verge of collapse, and he could die at any time. It was a miracle that he had survived until now. Xiaosheng finally recovered and let out a long breath. Actually, I should have died long ago. I relied on a treasure to keep my soul from dying, and then I reshaped my physical body. However, I can hardly leave this place. Only the squeezing force here can maintain the stability of my soul. As soon as I leave this place, my soul will collapse. The omnipresent squeezing force was like countless large hands, squeezing Xiaosheng's originally collapsing soul together. This allowed his soul to barely remain undying. But this couldn't keep the soul stable forever, and there was still the possibility of collapse. No wonder Xiaosheng had disappeared in recent centuries, as if he had disappeared. He didn't expect it to be because of this. Lin Moyu asked, then senior brother Xiao's soul world. Xiaosheng gave a bitter smile. Soul world? How could there be any soul world? In order to allow the squeezing pressure to act on my soul, I had already removed my soul world. Lin Moyu was shocked. Xiaosheng was indeed no ordinary person, to be so decisive. He was even willing to give up his soul world. But if he didn't give up his soul world, the squeezing pressure couldn't directly act on his soul, and Xiaosheng wouldn't have survived until now. Lin Moyu said, before, when I observed senior brother Xiao's soul realm, it seemed a bit peculiar. Xiaosheng chuckled. Of course it's peculiar. I think that perhaps advancing to God Lord might repair my soul. So, I advanced to God Lord. It's just a pity that although my soul did become stronger, the injury still existed and wasn't repaired. As he spoke, Xiaosheng raised his hand and gently tapped in the void. A brilliant galaxy instantly appeared in the starry sky. Summoning the projection of the Law Galaxy at will, this was the ability of a God Lord. It's just that with my current soul state, I can't enter the Law Galaxy and can't receive the baptism of the Law Galaxy. I may be the weakest God Lord. A God Lord who hasn't entered the Law Galaxy and can't mobilize the power of the galaxy, isn't that laughable? Xiaosheng said in an extremely calm tone. No wonder Lin Moyu felt that his state was so strange, surpassing lesser God Lord, but not like a true God Lord. It was conceivable that if Xiaosheng's soul hadn't been injured, once he advanced to God Lord, he would definitely be an extremely powerful existence among God Lords. After all, when he was a lesser God Lord, he already had the record of reversing and killing a God Lord. He could even fight across realms, let alone fight beyond his level. Moreover, Xiaosheng had great ambitions. Lin Moyu felt that the reason he came here was to raise his physical body to the limit before advancing to God Lord. As a result, some accidents happened. Lin Moyu asked, senior brother Xiao's injury, is there a way to treat it? Yes, Xiao Sheng gave a definite answer. There is a way, perhaps it can repair my soul. I have to enter the core area again and use the squeezing pressure of the core area to forcibly squeeze my soul together and make up for the injury. But doing so may also cause my soul to collapse and my body to die. Don't laugh at me, junior brother Lin, but for so many years, I haven't been able to make up my mind. Xiao Sheng still seemed very calm. After so many years, he had already accepted reality. Similarly, Lin Moyu could also understand Xiao Sheng's hesitation. There was great terror between life and death. How many people in the world are not afraid of death? If it was for some great righteousness to not fear death, that would be normal. But the choice between life and death under calmness is difficult. If Xiao Sheng went in, it would be either life or death. He not only needed extremely strong judgment to grasp the measure of the squeezing pressure, but also extremely strong luck. And he couldn't be disturbed during the entire process. If mysterious spirits appeared, it could be said that Xiao Sheng's trip was 9 deaths and 1 life. Xiao Sheng looked at Lin Moyu. Before, I was also very hesitant and procrastinated, somewhat timid. But after seeing junior brother Lin today, I have made a decision. I am going to try it. Failure is nothing more than death. If I succeed, I will enter the battlefield and slaughter a few more god lords for the human race. But junior brother Lin, listen to my advice, take it slowly and don't be too hasty. Qian Dahao, Xiao Sheng tried to persuade Lin Moyu with his personal experience. However, he also knew that it might not be effective. Top geniuses like this generally have their own ideas. Just like him before, someone had also advised him, but he didn't listen either. Lin Moyu's eyes were filled with contemplation. Senior brother Xiao, perhaps you don't have to take the risk. Xiao Sheng revealed surprise. What does junior brother Lin mean by this? Lin Moyu's fingertips glowed with white light, and all the undying laws were transformed into the power of life, condensing into shape at his fingertips. Now that he had reached the God King realm, condensing laws had become much easier. Lin Moyu condensed a bead the size of a fingernail with the power of life and sent it to Xiao Sheng. Senior brother Xiao, try absorbing it and see if it helps your soul. Although there was doubt in Xiao Sheng's eyes, he didn't suspect anything. He opened his mouth and sucked it in, immediately swallowing the law bead. 1. The next second, Xiao Sheng's entire body glowed with white light, and at the same time, an unspeakable shock was revealed in Xiao Sheng's eyes. How is this possible? Chapter 1405. Saying 100 will never be 99. Xiao Sheng's expression was extremely complicated. It was like a dying person suddenly being rescued, and only he himself knew that kind of emotion. Shock was only one of them. No matter how firm Xiao Sheng's mind was, he would still find it difficult to restrain himself in such a roller coaster of emotions, deciding between life, death, joy, and sorrow. In fact, just by looking at his expression, Lin Moyu could tell that his power of life had worked. Xiao Sheng's soul was nourished by the power of life, and the previous damage and serious injuries were healing. Originally, he relied on a treasure, coupled with constant squeezing pressure, to barely keep his soul intact. But in fact, his soul was riddled with holes and almost disintegrated. But now, under the action of the power of life, the soul was healing. Not just barely squeezed together, but truly healed. Xiao Sheng was very clear that his soul was really starting to recover. Although the recovery speed was not fast, as long as this trend continued, he would not have to die. Lin Moyu took in Xiao Sheng's reaction and was not surprised. After listening to Xiao Sheng's description before, he was confident that he could heal his injuries. His power of life could even save He Rensheng, who had lost 2/3 of his soul due to serious injuries, let alone Xiao Sheng. Xiao Sheng's soul was only cracked, but it had not really completely collapsed, so it was not difficult to heal. It was just that this matter was commonplace for Lin Moyu, but for Xiao Sheng himself, it was like a miracle. Xiao Sheng was a little incredulous, and when he looked at Lin Moyu, he saw an even brighter white orb of law 180. Lin Moyu once again condensed the law and created an orb of law. Before, it was only a nail-sized bead, but this time it was a fist-sized orb of law. The laws contained in it were unknown how many times more powerful. Xiao Sheng had a feeling that as long as he could absorb this orb of law, his soul would be completely restored. At that time, his soul could leap into the river of laws and be baptized by the river of laws, truly becoming a god lord. Xiao Sheng's name would once again resound throughout the great world. Xiaosheng took the orb of law and held it in his palm, as if holding a peerless treasure. No, this white orb of law was his life, more important than any peerless treasure. He felt the orb of law and initially thought it was the law of life, but later he felt something was wrong. The law of life was indeed helpful in treating the soul, but it was only helpful and could not heal him. Over the years, god lords who controlled the law of life had come, but all had failed. Xiaosheng asked in a low voice, "Junior brother Lin, what is this law of yours?" Lin Moyu answered truthfully, "The law of immortality." The law of immortality? Xiaosheng heard the name of the law of immortality for the first time. This is a new law, right? It's so magical, I'm afraid it's in the first tier. A day, Lin Moyu nodded slightly. Senior brother Xiao, this orb of law should be able to heal your soul trauma, but you should pay attention. In the center of the orb of law, there is a black spot. Do not touch this black spot, let alone absorb it. Xiaosheng looked towards the inside of the orb of law and indeed saw an inconspicuous black spot in the center. This black spot gave him a dangerous feeling, and if the soul absorbed it, it would not feel good. Xiaosheng hummed, "Xiao knows, junior brother Lin, Xiao is difficult to repay this kindness." He was interrupted by Lin Moyu before he could finish speaking. "We are both of the human race, senior brother Xiao does not need to be like this. When senior brother Xiao congratulates the god lord, go out and kill a few more god lords." Xiaosheng laughed loudly, "Okay, it's a deal. When Xiao goes out, he will kill 100 god lords and send their heads to junior brother Lin. It's a deal. This junior is waiting. Xiao will keep his word, saying 100 will never be 99. Lin Moyu took it seriously, and if Xiaosheng really brought 100 god lord heads, he would happily accept them. These were god lord heads, which were the best weapons for him. Lin Moyu said, "Senior brother Xiao, please recover well, this junior will go inside and take a look." This time, Xiaosheng did not try to persuade Lin Moyu again. Lin Moyu's law could heal the soul, so he should be fine. After Xiaosheng gave a few instructions, he watched Lin Moyu leave. Until Lin Moyu disappeared from sight, Xiaosheng began to absorb the power of life in the orb of law, and his whole body was once again shrouded in a white light. The squeezing pressure continued to increase, but for the physical body of a God King realm, this little squeezing pressure was no longer a problem. After the God King realm, the span between each rank of the physical body was very large. In the 9th layer area, the physical body of a first-rank God King could easily withstand it. In the 10th layer area, the physical body of a first-rank God King could also barely withstand it. The difference between the two was that the squeezing pressure in the 10th layer could already affect the physical body of a first-rank God King, and this effect could also steadily increase the power of the physical body. As Xiaosheng said, in about 100 years, a first-rank God King could be promoted to a second-rank God King. Moreover, this promotion would not be dangerous and was very gentle. Lin Moyu was naturally dissatisfied with this. He wanted to cross the 10th layer and go to a deeper area to find the Spirit of Wonders. The 10th layer area was empty, and no human cultivators were cultivating here. Too few people could cultivate their physical bodies to the God King realm. Often, the physical body had not yet been cultivated, and their own realm had already reached the God Lord. Once they became God Lords, they could no longer come here. The laws of God Lords were too strong and integrated into the river of laws. After being squeezed, the law would automatically protect its master, and the pressure here would be useless to God Lords. Moreover, even if God Lords went to kill the Spirit of Wonders, it would be useless. The magical energy produced after the death of the Spirit of Wonders would also not work on God Lords. This was why Xiaosheng came here with the body of a minor God Lord, instead of coming here after being promoted to God Lord. Lin Moyu ignored the pressure, turned into a stream of light, and crossed the 10th layer area at a speed of 150,000 kilometers per second. After flying tens of millions of kilometers away from the 10th layer, his body suddenly lightened, and the pressure receded like a tide. Lin Moyu knew that he had arrived at the core area of the Land of Wonders, and the Star of Laws at the deepest part of the Land of Wonders was now clearly visible. On the Star of Laws, countless laws were squeezed into a ball by a huge force. It was conceivable how huge the squeezing pressure there was. But the area where he was now was a very special area. Here, the squeezing pressure was sometimes light and sometimes heavy. When it was light, it was comparable to the first layer area, and when it was heavy, it was far beyond the 10th layer area. It could be regarded as the most chaotic area of squeezing pressure. This was also the area where the Spirit of Wonders appeared. Lin Moyu had learned about the magic of the Spirit of Wonders from Xiao Sheng, but he had never seen it with his own eyes. Killing the Spirit of Wonders could increase the strength of the physical body. The more you kill, the higher the level, the more exaggerated the increase in the strength of the physical body. But Xiao Sheng did not know which level it could be raised to. Coming here, there were 4 things to do. The first was to replenish his undead legion. After the God King realm, the number of undead legions increased. To what extent, Lin Moyu did not know. Secondly, find the Spirit of Wonders to enhance his physical body and test the strength of his spells at the same time. Finally, summon the elemental lich. Standing in the void, Lin Moyu summoned a new skeleton god warrior. Not pulling one from the spell star, but summoning a brand new skeleton god warrior. The next second, skeleton god mages, skeleton soul archers, death knights, and bone dragons appeared frantically around, filling the void in an instant. Chapter 1406. It's not a dream to destroy a clan alone. 9-star spells linked together. When a spell was triggered, if Lin Moyu did not control it, it would link other spells. Members of the Undead Legion appeared in the void at an alarming speed. In the blink of an eye, they occupied a large area. Lin Moyu had been completely surrounded by the Undead Legion, not just 3 layers inside and 3 layers outside. Above, below, and in all directions, there were countless undead. This number is a bit too much. The corners of Lin Moyu's mouth twitched slightly, and the sheer number was somewhat beyond his imagination. 2. It was at this moment that he noticed that during his advancement to God King, each spell constellation was absorbing power, enhancing itself while increasing its fusion degree. However, because the 3 forces, undead laws, divine power, and the talent giant tree, were fundamentally different. They seemed to be fused together, but in reality, there were still distinctions. In this situation, the spells couldn't reach their most perfect state. Later, the infinite fusion spell constellation forcefully intervened, unifying all the powers and using the chaos laws to forcibly fuse the 3 forces together, then uniformly delivering them to each spell constellation. This allowed the other spell constellations to reach their current perfect state. Otherwise, Lin Mo would feel that the number of Undead Legion would definitely decrease significantly. The spell linkage continued, and the summoning never stopped. Lin Mo communicated with the spell constellations, sensing the changes within, while also diverting his attention to check the attributes of the undead. As he had expected, all 3 basic skeletons had reached the 3rd tier of God King. Death Knights and Bone Dragons had reached the 4th tier of God King. Originally, Bone Dragons were about 1 tier stronger than Death Knights, but under the unification of infinite fusion their strengths were brought to the same level. What was compensated for was the quantity. The number of Bone Dragons increased, becoming as numerous as Death Knights. In some ways, it seemed to have become a little weaker. But more numbers could form more legions, allowing more legion rulers to play a role. In this way, the strength actually became stronger. Strange, no new legion rulers were summoned. During the summoning process, no new legion rulers were discovered. Previously, when he converted the Lich General into a legion ruler, he converted a full 1 million legion rulers. As a result, only 15 legion rulers could play a role, and the others could only serve as healing soldiers, which once made Lin Mo feel a little awkward. It was good that no new legion rulers were summoned this time, as he couldn't use them all anyway. It seems I underestimated the spirituality of infinite fusion. This guy seems to be a bit smarter than I imagined. Lin Mo thought in his heart that infinite fusion, like a monarch, seemed to be fine-tuning his spell constellations, making them more reasonable. In the soul world, Lin Mo's soul raised its head and glanced at infinite fusion. Infinite fusion seemed to be asleep, with no movement and a dimmer glow than usual. It had consumed too much power to fuse the spells and was now recuperating. Lin Mo wasn't in a hurry, waiting quietly for the Undead Legion to be replenished. The speed at which the Undead Legion appeared became faster and faster, the frequency became higher and higher, seemingly endless. From True God to God King, the expansion of the Undead Legion far exceeded Lin Mo's imagination. Half a day later, Lin Mo finally couldn't stand it anymore and took the initiative to fly up, leaving the encirclement formed by the Undead Legion. The whole process was like flying out from inside a star, with numerous obstacles. After finally flying out, he looked down from a high position and saw the Undead Legion clearly. The space occupied by the Undead Legion had already exceeded the size of an ordinary life planet. The summoning continued. The summoning of Death Knights and Bone Dragons had stopped. Their quotas had been filled. Both Death Knights and Bone Dragons had reached 10 million. Distributing them to the Legion rulers could create 100 Death Knight legions, plus 100 Dragon legions. 200 Legion rulers could lead their legions and exert the battle power of the 9th tier of God King. A God King of the 8th tier, leading a legion composed entirely of 4th tier God King powerhouses, with a number of 100,000. No matter which race, this was a powerful legion. Lin Mo had a full 200 such legions. Facing some weak races, Lin Mo alone could carry out the act of extermination. Even if there were 1 or 2 God Emperors in those small races, they couldn't stop Lin Mo. Corpse detonation could instantly kill low-level God Emperors. The summoning of the 3 basic skeletons continued, with each one jumping out of a mysterious world and entering the Great World. The aura of death enveloped this void, as if the world of death had descended here, causing fear in people's hearts. After a full day, the summoning finally stopped. At this time, Lin Mo also knew the number of his undead legion. All 3 types of skeletons had reached 50 million. Added together, a full 150 million. Each skeleton had the battle power of the 3rd tier of God King. This was a vast and terrifying legion. Even when the demon race came to kill him, the elite legion they formed was only composed of thousands of God Kings. He completely overwhelmed them in terms of numbers. Moreover, they could also form skeleton God generals through fusion spells. A full 50 million skeleton God generals, each reaching the 8th tier of God King. Who would dare to believe it if it were said out loud? Lin Mo's mouth curved into a smile, and his confidence in the great world was growing stronger. The vast skeleton legion increased his defense to an unimaginable level. Over 100 million undead would share the damage for him, and there was also a million-fold damage reduction. He believed that even if he stood still and let a God Emperor hit him, they wouldn't be able to kill him in 2 or 3 hits. Suddenly, an invisible squeezing force appeared, and an area of about 100 kilometers collapsed, with the space showing a visible depression. The skeletons in the area were attacked. The flames of their souls flickered violently, and their bodies creaked. The powerful squeezing force not only squeezed the body but also squeezed the soul at the same time. In just half a second, the soul fires of these skeletons were extinguished. At this time, Undying Undead took effect, resurrecting the skeletons. Lin Mo watched and thought, the comprehensive strength of the skeletons is at the 3rd tier of God King, and although the strength of their physical bodies is not as good as the physical bodies of the 3rd tier of God King, their defense is not much worse. The physical body can block the squeezing force, but the soul cannot. The soul is far more fragile than the physical body, and the skeletons have no soul world to protect them, and their physical structure is also unique. Fortunately, the squeezing force only appeared for a moment, causing only 1 instance of damage, so it is not to be feared. If the squeezing force fell on me, I should not be able to block it with my physical body alone, so I must use damage transfer. I don't know if the squeezing force just now was the strongest. Lin Mo made a comparison and judged whether he could block this sudden attack. The result of the analysis was that he could not block it without using damage transfer. With the use of damage transfer, there was no pressure. This was not much different from his judgment before coming here. Lin Mo transformed into a marshal, released all the undead legion, and reviewed them. Finally, he distributed the Death Knights and Bone Dragons to the legion rulers, each forming 100 legions. Originally, he was thinking of forming a group army, but thinking about the scale of the group armies in the Nether Swamp, his little skirmish was really not up to par. The entire undead legion tied together was only the size of a squad of people. After the distribution, Lin Mo put away the undead legion and took out the seated Buddha statue. A gleam of light flashed in his eyes. It's your turn. Chapter 1407. I am the grandson of the ancient Buddha. The seated Buddha statue was formed by a Buddha condensing all his power and sitting in meditation. If this Buddha statue were obtained by the Buddha race, it would be a rare treasure. 3. People of the Buddhist race can absorb the power within to strengthen themselves and improve their realm. Especially small divine venerables like the little bright King Bodhisattva, who can even use the power within to condense a Buddha country. The significance of a Buddha country is equivalent to perfectly advancing to the divine venerable realm. A Buddha who possesses a Buddha country not only has strength far surpassing other Buddhas of the same realm but also opens the path to higher levels. That's why the little bright King Bodhisattva risked entering the Nether Swamp, attempting to obtain the seated Buddha relic, to condense a Buddha country in one fell swoop. Unfortunately, this seated Buddha relic was obtained by Lin Mo Yu, and the little bright King Bodhisattva returned empty-handed. The effect of the seated Buddha relic is naturally greatly reduced when it falls into the hands of non-Buddhists. It's just a very good divine venerable realm material, and its value is still very high, but it cannot be compared with the value if it were obtained by a Buddhist. 047. In fact, the best thing for Lin Mo Yu to do is to sell it to the Buddhists through special channels. He would definitely get a huge profit and exchange it for several divine venerable realm materials without any problems. If it were someone else, they might really sell it. But it just so happened that Lin Mo Yu got his hands on it, and Lin Mo Yu became interested and wanted to use it to summon an elemental lich. Lin Mo Yu looked at the seated Buddha relic in his hand, with a strange expression on his face. He felt that this seated Buddha relic seemed to have a trace of spirituality. Is it because the Buddha condensed all his essence, resulting in spirituality? But if it is a spiritual material, why is there no movement from infinite fusion? Lin Mo Yu felt a little strange, but he didn't think too deeply and directly cast a spell. Stellar level spell. Summon elemental lich. As the spell unfolded, the seated Buddha relic suddenly bloomed with dazzling light. The Buddha statue softened instantly and began to change its form. It's working. Lin Mo Yu was overjoyed, he could really summon it. If he couldn't summon it, the spell would fail, and the material wouldn't change in any way. Now the spell was successful, and the material had changed. Under the power of the spell, invisible rules descended, and the Buddha statue melted rapidly. In the blink of an eye, the Buddha statue had turned into a soft liquid. This liquid can be regarded as the essence of the Buddha statue, the real essence. Suddenly, this liquid began to vibrate violently, and sharp spikes appeared on the surface of the liquid, as if someone was trapped inside, constantly struggling. At the same time, bursts of Buddhist sounds came from it, followed by an angry roar, "Stop!" Lin Mo Yu revealed a look of, "So that's how it is, no wonder I felt a little spirituality, it turns out there is a Buddha hidden inside." The little Buddha who was trapped in the nether swamp at the time, fortunately advanced to the Buddha realm before his death, but it was too late to save himself. So he sat down on the spot and became a Buddha statue. But he didn't really die, but hid his soul in the Buddha statue, seeking a glimmer of life. If the Buddha statue was obtained by the little bright King Bodhisattva, then he could return to the Buddhist race. At that time, he could reshape his body and gain a new life. He could even be ruthless and seize the little bright King Bodhisattva's body, taking over his nest. If it was obtained by someone else, he could still escape. Even if only the soul remains, a divine venerable realm being has the ability to save his life. Moreover, if someone else obtained it, there was a high probability that they would sell it to the Buddhist race. Unfortunately, he fell into Lin Mo Yu's hands, and Lin Mo Yu cast the summon elemental lich spell on him. Under the inexplicable rules, the spell was constantly refining him, to erase his consciousness. What stop? He couldn't stop. Once the spell was cast, Lin Mo Yu couldn't stop it either. If he forcibly interrupted it, the material in his hand, including the soul inside, would also be erased. Lin Mo Yu shook his head and said, "You should have left 1,000 years ago, go in peace." He had no good feelings for the Buddhist race, and he would definitely not sacrifice such a good material for him. Lin Mo Yu always acted according to his heart and also considered gains and losses. Weighing the two, he made a decision. The Buddha's voice sounded again, "Please stop, fellow Taoist, I am the Buddhist joyful Buddha, I can promise you 1, no, 2 divine venerable realm magic treasures." Lin Mo Yu was unmoved, the summon elemental lich spell was still continuing, constantly refining him. Perhaps because of the existence of the joyful Buddha, the refining speed was very slow, much slower than the previous times. The joyful Buddha was struggling frantically, but he couldn't resist the spell's refining. Although his soul was in the Buddha realm, because he only became a Buddha before his death, he couldn't be considered a true Buddha. At least he didn't step into the Lost Star River, didn't accept the Lost Star River's baptism. Looking at it from this point of view, it's a bit similar to Shaoshang. It's really a big world with all kinds of wonders. I thought that an example like Shaoshang was unique. I didn't expect to encounter one so quickly. The joyful Buddha pleaded several times, said many good words, and gave many promises. He even promised to give 4 divine venerable realm magic treasures 0. No matter who it is, 4 divine venerable realm magic treasures are an unimaginable fortune. How many divine venerables are still using divine king realm magic treasures? Lin Moyu was unmoved, but joked, "It is said that the Buddhist race is rich. I didn't expect it to be so rich, that divine venerable realm magic treasures can be given just like that. But you haven't returned to the Buddhist race for 1,000 years, and you were just a small divine venerable before. These empty promises are really hard to believe." Seeing that Lin Moyu seemed to be relenting, the joyful Buddha said repeatedly, "This humble monk has a different status in the Buddhist race." Lin Moyu raised his eyebrows slightly and slowed his voice, "What's different? Could it be that you are a Buddha son? There are Buddha sons in the Buddhist race, and Buddha sons are equivalent to the top elites in the human race, geniuses cultivated by the Buddhist race with all their strength. Buddha sons have a very high status in the Buddhist race, not weaker than ordinary Buddhas." The Buddha's soul immediately said, "No, I am more noble than a Buddha son, I am the grandson of the ancient Buddha." Ancient Buddha. Lin Moyu heard this title for the first time. For a moment, his thoughts raced. Above Arhat is Bodhisattva, above Bodhisattva is Buddha. The Buddha son has the same status as many Buddhas. He said that his status is higher than the Buddha son, that is to say, he is more noble than many Buddhas. He said he is the grandson of the ancient Buddha. Thinking like this, the identity of the ancient Buddha is obvious. That is an existence that surpasses divine venerable, and is equivalent to those big figures in the human race. In fact, it's almost the same as Shu Qingyong's status in the human race. Indeed a big figure, he should know a lot. 5.8. Lin Moyu smiled in his heart, planning to get some information out of him, with a hint of surprise in his words, "You are actually the grandson of the ancient Buddha, you're not lying to me, are you?" The joyful Buddha snorted, "Monks don't lie, naturally I won't lie to you." Lin Moyu suddenly said, "That's not right, doesn't your Buddhist race prohibit marriage? How could you have children?" The joyful Buddha said with some disdain, "What do you know? There are many Buddhist paths in our Buddhist race, one of which is called the joyful path, which allows for marriage and having children." Another piece of information. The Buddhist race has always been mysterious, and their information is not widely spread in the great world. Some news is also hearsay, and it is difficult to distinguish between true and false. What joyful path? Lin Moyu heard for the first time. However, Lin Moyu pretended not to have heard of it. "I haven't heard of any joyful path, you might be making it up, if you can't give a convincing reason, I still can't stop." Chapter 1408 Buddha Country Lich, Peaking Truth Technique. The refining of the summon elemental lich is always in progress, even if the joyful Buddha is struggling hard, he won't be able to hold on for long. 4. Lin Moyu did not expect that the refining power of the summoning elemental lich spell would be so powerful that even the full resistance of the joyful Buddha could only delay it, and could not reverse it at all. The joyful Buddha fell silent, seemingly thinking about how to make Lin Moyu believe him. Lin Moyu was not in a hurry at all, waiting patiently. He was like a hunter quietly waiting for a rabbit to take the bait, calm and composed. After a few seconds, the joyful Buddha's voice sounded again, but this time his tone changed, "You're lying to me." Lin Moyu was slightly stunned, discovered. But his tone remained unchanged, "I don't need to lie to you. As long as you can give me a convincing reason and make a great world oath, promising to give me 4 divine Lord Realm magic treasures, I can let you go." The joyful Buddha's voice sounded again, "No, you're lying to me. You don't even know what an ancient Buddha is. You just want to learn more about the Buddhist clan from me." Lin Moyu cursed inwardly, how did this guy suddenly figure it out? At this moment, he noticed that in the center of the liquid being refined, a ball of soul was flashing with Buddhist light. Buddhist clan's secret technique. Lin Moyu's heart trembled. It turned out that the other party's sudden enlightenment was not because he had figured it out, but because of the Buddhist clan's secret technique. The Buddhist clan's various secret techniques were extremely strange, and Lin Moyu was extremely wary of them. The joyful Buddha used the secret technique to see through Lin Moyu's thoughts, and instead said, "You should already know the power of the ancient Buddha. I am the grandson of the ancient Buddha. If you don't want to face the ancient Buddha's anger, release me immediately. Then I can let bygones be bygones. Since you rescued me from the nether swamp, I will still give you some compensation." His attitude changed, becoming aggressive. The previous promises were gone, only promising a little compensation. Lin Moyu said with a hint of coldness, "You seem to have me figured out." The joyful Buddha said, "I am the grandson of the ancient Buddha. If you kill me, the ancient Buddha will sense it, and you will die too. Moreover, I am also a Buddha of the Buddhist clan. Do you know what it means to kill a Buddha? Even the divine lord of the human race behind you can't protect you. Lin Moyu didn't know what secret technique the other party used, how the change could be so great. It had to be said that this secret technique was very interesting. Lin Moyu also found it interesting. I've killed Buddhas before. As soon as these words came out, the joyful Buddha immediately fell silent. Lin Moyu felt that the joyful Buddha was fluctuating violently, as if he was still using some secret technique. Lin Moyu stopped talking, and there was no need to talk anymore. The joyful Buddha's ending was already destined. The refining of the summoning elemental lich was nearing its end, and the materials transformed from the Buddha statue had been basically refined. No matter how hard the joyful Buddha tried, he could only delay the refining speed, but could not stop it. At this moment, the materials were exhausted, and the joyful Buddha's soul lost its protection. At this moment, Lin Moyu completely saw his appearance. He was also bald, but he didn't have the sanctimoniousness of the Buddhist clan, nor did he have any solemn appearance. Instead, he was a bit wretched. His appearance was very similar to that of the human race. No, he was human. Lin Moyu saw clearly that he was human, who had joined the Buddhist clan from the human race. Perhaps it was his ancestor who joined the Buddhist clan from the human race. No matter what the reason, Lin Moyu didn't like this kind of person. A nameless fire ignited from the depths of the joyful Buddha's soul, and the soul was burned by the flames, immediately letting out a shocking scream. No, you can't kill me. The ancient Buddha will kill you, and you can't escape. The joyful Buddha shouted madly, his entire soul rolling around. Under the envelopment of the elemental lich's spell, he couldn't escape anywhere. The spell regarded him as part of the material, refining him together with a tyrannical and mysterious rule. Lin Moyu shook his head. I believe that ancient Buddha can't kill me. The human race also had important figures, and they were not afraid of the ancient Buddha at all. If the ancient Buddha could really rush into the human race's territory and kill him, then the important figures in the human race could also hang themselves. So Lin Moyu was not afraid of this kind of threat at all. Just like the last time he killed a Buddha, the human race came to his door and made the Buddhist clan suffer without daring to say a word. From this, it could be seen that the human race was the truly powerful side. The flames rose, and the gray-white flames completely devoured the joyful Buddha's soul. The joyful Buddha's screams were earth-shattering, lasting for a full 5 minutes before gradually weakening and finally disappearing. The joyful Buddha's soul lost its movement, letting the flames burn without screaming, as if there was no more pain. The next second, the joyful Buddha's soul collapsed, turning into flowing water and merging with the previously refined materials. A Buddhist sound came out. The sound came from above the 9 heavens, and an elemental lich appeared in front of Lin Moyu. This elemental lich was about 10 meters tall, seemingly illusory and real, with a solemn appearance. He did not stand, but sat cross-legged in the void, emitting golden light. From a distance, he was a living Buddha. Because the material used to summon him was a seated Buddha statue, the aura he emitted was also very similar to that of the Buddhist clan. What kind of lich is this? Lin Moyu didn't know whether to laugh or cry. How could he summon a Buddha? With a thought, he checked the lich's information. Buddha Kingdom Lich. Realm: Lesser Divine Lord. Grade: High. Growth limit: None. Spells: Buddha Kingdom in the Palm, Truth-Seeking Art. Buddha Kingdom in the Palm transforms an area into a Buddha Kingdom, which can change the strength of the laws of the Buddha Kingdom at will. It can weaken a certain law by up to 50%, while strengthening another law by 50%. It is also effective against the Lost Star River of the Divine Lord realm. Truth-Seeking Art peeks into the laws of fate, obtaining truth and falsehood from it, which can be used to find a certain fragment of the future 983, or to detect the true intentions of others, ineffective against Divine Lords. Can be used 3 times a day. After checking the information of the Buddha Kingdom Lich, Lin Moyu was slightly surprised. He actually had 2 spells, the first one being Buddha Kingdom in the Palm, which was equivalent to creating a combat environment. In this environment, the power of one's own laws increased by 50%, and the enemy's laws decreased by 50%. Equivalent to a powerful auxiliary, in the Buddha Kingdom in the Palm, the advantages of one's own side would be greatly exploited. Whether it was in cooperation with other elemental liches, or the fundamental undead army, the effect was excellent. I just don't know how big the range is, and whether it can cooperate with the Bone Hell. Lin Moyu thought in his heart that if it could cooperate with the Bone Hell, the effect would be even more amazing. But even if it couldn't, it was still a good spell. The second spell, truth-seeking art, could peek into the laws of fate and learn the truth and falsehood. Needless to say, the joyful Buddha used this spell to peek into his true intentions. He didn't expect that the Buddhist clan actually had a secret technique that could relate to the laws of fate. The laws of fate were ranked in the first echelon, and their power might not be as good as the laws of space, but they were even more mysterious and unpredictable. The Buddhist clan's secret techniques are indeed powerful. Lin Moyu had to admit this. Suddenly, his whole body bristled, and a chill arose from the bottom of his heart. His soul frantically issued warnings, there was danger. Chapter 1409. Ancient Buddha's Palm Print, Karmic Retribution. Danger, danger, danger. The soul kept issuing warnings, and the talent giant tree was also shaking wildly, conveying the signal of danger. Truth-seeking art. Lin Moyu's eyes were calm, maintaining his composure, and he ordered the Buddha Kingdom Lich to use the truth-seeking art. His eyes had already swept around, but he didn't find anything. Not only could his own eyes not see it, but the undead vision could not see it, and even the soul induction did not find anything. 5. However, the soul's perception of danger is never wrong, danger must be imminent. Ever since his soul reached the peak of the 4th grade, the realm of Jade Soul generating purple, he had an extremely strong sense of danger. The Buddhist Kingdom Lich narrowed his eyes slightly, his expression solemn, as he silently used the truth-seeking art. Even Lin Moyu, the master, didn't feel anything, the truth-seeking art had already been completed. Immediately afterward, Lin Moyu received a piece of information. The information was very illusory, yet it allowed Lin Moyu to know what would happen next. A Buddhist palm was piercing through endless void, attacking him. The Buddhist palm seemed to have locked onto him, heading straight for him, impossible to dodge. Lin Moyu knew which ancient Buddha had taken action. He didn't know where the ancient Buddha was or what method was used to lock onto him, but a palm was being struck towards him. The truth-seeking art only provided this result, but it didn't offer a solution, nor did it reveal Lin Moyu's fate. Destiny is always constantly changing, nothing is predetermined. Lin Moyu knew he had to save himself, running was not an option. However, he didn't panic, he had trump cards and wouldn't die. What he was considering was how to overcome this crisis without using his trump cards. The wings of the undead unfolded, attempting to sever the lock. The result was disappointing. No one had locked onto him, so there was nothing to sever. The ancient Buddha's palm, crossing space, used a method that Lin Moyu couldn't yet understand to attack. No matter how he dodged, he couldn't avoid it, there was no other option but to withstand it head-on. Outside the land of wonders, Zhu Qiwu suddenly felt a chill down his spine. He saw a giant palm print suddenly appear outside the land of wonders, and then fly inside. When the palm print appeared, it was accompanied by bursts of Buddhist chanting, but this chanting was eerily strange, like the whispers of evil ghosts from hell. An ancient Buddha's palm, trapping karma and locking life. The first thing Zhu Qiwu thought of was Lin Moyu because Lin Moyu had the seated Buddha statue in his possession. Other than that, he couldn't think of anything else that would be worthy of an ancient Buddha's action. He didn't chase after it, he couldn't catch up anyway. Instead, he immediately closed his eyes. Zhu Qiwu's main body, sitting outside Fortress Number 10, suddenly erupted with intense aura. He transmitted a message at the fastest speed. He muttered, "Hopefully, it's not too late, hopefully, it's not too late." Not only his main body but also Zhu Qiwu's clone outside the Land of Wonders was saying the same thing. Although he was saying it, he knew in his heart that the hope was slim. Having witnessed the methods of those great figures, he was very clear about the power of an ancient Buddha. The Buddhist chanting resounded in the Land of Wonders, becoming stronger and stronger, almost instantly enveloping the entire Land of Wonders. The squeezing pressure of the Land of Wonders was useless against the Buddhist palm. This kind of Buddhist chanting, like the whispers of evil ghosts, made people feel disturbed and uneasy. The people cultivating in the Land of Wonders were all awakened. In the 5th layer area, the cultivators here saw the ancient Buddha's palm print flying rapidly from the void. What is that? This is the Buddhist chanting of the Buddhist race. How could the Buddhist race come here? What's coming as a Buddhist palm? How can the Buddhist race run wild in the land of the human race? Someone with a violent temperament immediately offered a magical treasure, attacking the ancient Buddha's palm print. With a loud bang, the ancient Buddha's palm print was unscathed by the attack, but the body of the person who attacked it shattered on the spot, and his life disappeared. A human race seed in the Divine King realm died just like that. Everyone looked at each other, not daring to act again. The ancient Buddha's palm print ignored the others and flew straight into the depths. 6th layer, 7th layer, 8th layer. The ancient Buddha's palm print went all the way unimpeded, and no one stopped it. Although everyone recognized that this was the palm print of the Buddhist race, most people remained restrained when they didn't know the depth of the situation. In the 9th layer, Xiao Sheng was awakened. He looked at the ancient Buddha's palm print flying from the void, and was horrified. This is an ancient Buddha's palm print. His knowledge was far from comparable to other cultivators, and he recognized the origin of this palm print at a glance. Facing the ancient Buddha's palm print, even he didn't dare to act rashly. If it were a Buddha's palm, he would dare to stop it. An ancient Buddha's palm, he knew, would mean certain death upon contact. His whole body was terrified, staring at the palm print until it disappeared from his sight. How could an ancient Buddha's palm print appear here? Could it be? He looked at the direction where the ancient Buddha's palm print disappeared, and exclaimed in disbelief, "Junior brother Lin." He realized that the ancient Buddha's palm print was aimed at Lin Moyu. Xiao Sheng hardened his heart and flew directly towards the depths without saying a word. He knew that he couldn't save Lin Moyu. An ancient Buddha's palm, even a peak divine lord might not be able to block it. All he could do was collect Lin Moyu's corpse. Yes, just to collect the corpse. Just to collect the corpse, Xiao Sheng had already disregarded his own safety. Now his soul had not yet recovered, and it was really not suitable to enter the core area, but he still went. His speed was very fast, chasing after the ancient Buddha's palm print, but unfortunately, his speed was not as good as the ancient Buddha's palm print, and in the end, he could only see a glimmer of light. In the core area, Lin Moyu had already made preparations. Since he couldn't avoid it, then he would deal with it. Through the truth-seeking art, he knew that the ancient Buddha's palm print was very strong, but the power of a single palm, without roots and without source, would have its limits no matter how strong it was. He wasn't without a chance. The Billion Undead Legion formed a large line, blocking in front of Lin Moyu. All three types of basic skeletons were formed into skeleton divine generals. Behind them were the Legion rulers. After that were the Death Knights and Bone Dragons, as well as the Legion rulers without legions. Finally, there was the Skeleton King. The Skeleton King, summoned with a full 100 million skeletons, had the battle power of a lesser divine lord, no weaker than the lesser Mingwang Bodhisattva. Lin Moyu stood at the rear of the team, holding a bone sword in his hand. Lin Moyu felt a little amused. A long, long time ago, when he was still in the small world, he had used such tactics before. Using skeletons as meat shields to resist the opponent's attacks. A billion skeletons as meat shields, transformed into a line, blocking in front of Lin Moyu. The Buddhist chanting echoed in his ears, like the whispers of evil ghosts, becoming stronger and stronger. This kind of Buddhist chanting made people wonder where the dignity of the Buddhist race was. How could it be more demonic than demons? Lin Moyu did not regret summoning the Buddhist kingdom lich. People always have to take responsibility for their choices. Regret is not in my life's dictionary. His eyes narrowed slightly, and he finally saw the ancient Buddha's palm print. Because of the prediction of the truth-seeking art, he knew the flight path of the ancient Buddha's palm print like the back of his hand. As the ancient Buddha's palm print flew over, Lin Moyu glowed all over. The two major source spells were activated at the same time, and his aura rose steadily. Divine King 2nd Order, 3rd Order, 9th Order, Lesser Divine Lord. 6. Lin Mo's realm reached the lesser godly Venerable at this moment, stronger than ever before. After advancing to God King, his soul power became more abundant, and the replenishment speed of the talent giant tree also accelerated considerably. Without any replenishment, Lin Mo could maintain this state for a full 2 minutes. 2 minutes were enough to determine life and death. With the blessing of the strong soldier's spell, the damage of the undead legion increased tenfold. The skeleton god generals raised their long swords and slashed fiercely at the ancient Buddha palm. Chapter 14:10 If we don't do something, we're doomed. The skeleton god generals wielded their long swords, unleashing the most simple and unadorned sword energy. There were no special techniques, only the integration of the undead law, a full-strength strike. The skeleton god generals were fearless of pain, unafraid of death, and after their master issued an order, they would go even if they knew they would die. Just like now, the skeleton god generals stood at the forefront, lined up in a long dragon formation, blocking the ancient Buddha palm print. The massive sword energy landed on the ancient Buddha palm print, like a mud cow entering the sea, without causing a single ripple. The ancient Buddha palm print appeared motionless, but the skeleton god generals collapsed with a bang. The ancient Buddha palm print followed some special law, and all those who attacked it would receive a strong counterattack. This counterattack was silent, descending directly, impossible to dodge. Lin Mo's eyes narrowed slightly. The skeleton god generals only launched an attack on the ancient Buddha palm print, and before they even made real contact with the opponent, they were already dead. The silent counterattack of the ancient Buddha palm print was extremely powerful, so powerful that it could easily kill the skeleton god generals. The damage could not be shared with other undead members, and even the legion rulers did not have time to heal. This discovery made him quickly adjust his strategy. Originally, he himself would also join the attack, but now he could no longer act. He had to save his life until the end, and save his talent until the very end. The skeleton god generals at the front of the formation died suddenly after launching their attacks, then immediately resurrected, swung their attacks again, and died again. Again and again, they died 5 times in a row, until the effect of the undying undead spell disappeared, and they truly died after the 6th time. Immediately after, new skeletons appeared beside Lin Mo, and Lin Mo quickly summoned new skeletons to replenish the ranks. Under the linkage of spells, he only needed to start, and then he didn't need to worry about it himself. With a thought, the skeleton god generals scattered, no longer lined up in a long dragon formation, but transformed into a fan shape, launching a fierce attack on the ancient Buddha palm print. The ancient Buddha palm print could automatically counterattack, so that the meat shield lost its meaning. Originally, Lin Mo was thinking of having the skeleton god generals launch an attack first, and then let the skeletons turn into meat shields after the ancient Buddha palm print approached. But now, as long as he attacked the ancient Buddha palm print, he would be counter-killed. There was no chance to become a meat shield, so he might as well act as a meat shield, and hit it with all his strength. Use enough powerful force to wear it down. Lin Mo's combat style was never rigid, and he always adapted to the situation. Tens of millions of skeleton god generals unleashed fierce sword energy that bombarded the ancient Buddha palm print. The sword light had completely devoured the ancient Buddha palm print, but it still could not stop the ancient Buddha palm print. It was like a retrograde person in a huge wave, going against the current, rushing towards Lin Mo. Lin Mo stared closely at the ancient Buddha palm print, while carefully sensing the changes in the ancient Buddha palm print. From the ancient Buddha palm print, he felt a despairing, vast power, a level that he could not yet touch. Only a little bit of this level of power could kill him. The strength of the ancient Buddha completely surpassed the Buddha, surpassing the godly Venerable. But gradually, he also sensed that the ancient Buddha palm print had weakened slightly under the attacks of the skeletons. The slight weakening seemed insignificant, but it really happened. Lin Mo instantly analyzed that it was his undead law. The power of death of the undead law could corrode everything, including laws, and it was also effective against the ancient Buddha palm print. Every attack of the skeleton god generals contained the undead law. Accumulated, it could weaken the ancient Buddha palm print. Lin Mo was overjoyed, knowing that his decision was not wrong. The skeletons continued to die and resurrect, and after 6 times, they truly died. The summoning slots were constantly being vacated, and a large number of skeletons constantly appeared beside Lin Mo. The 3 basic skeletons quickly combined and transformed again into skeleton god generals, rejoining the battle. It was just that the speed of the skeletons dying was too fast, and the speed of summoning could not keep up with the speed of death. This was also a helpless move. Lin Mo could only do his best. Peering truth. He let out a low shout, and a 10-meter-tall lich appeared behind Lin Mo. The Buddha Kingdom lich was solemn and dignified, and the peering truth technique was used silently, and a stream of information quickly entered Lin Mo's mind. The peering truth technique fluctuated the law of destiny, allowing Lin Mo to see some possibilities of the future. The future was constantly changing, and it was difficult to distinguish between truth and falsehood, but it also represented a possibility. In the information returned by the peering truth technique, Lin Mo saw that the ancient Buddha palm print had been weakened by more than half after countless attacks, but it still had terrifying power, enough to kill him. Even if he used all his means, it would be useless. His talent could allow him to resurrect, but the power of the ancient Buddha palm print would continue to lock onto him after resurrection, killing him again. He didn't have the ability to resurrect a second time. The final result was that all his arrangements, although they had an impact on the ancient Buddha palm print, he still could not escape death. Of course, these were just some predictions of the future by the law of destiny, and these predictions were one-sided and not necessarily accurate. The future was constantly changing, and any small change could change the future. But Lin Mo knew that if he didn't make any changes, and continued to do things in the current way, the future would be fixed. He needed to change. What he was doing now was not enough. He still had 3 corpses of the demon godly Venerable in his hand, which could be used to cast corpse explosion. 3 attacks of the godly Venerable realm, although not enough to block the ancient Buddha palm print, could at least weaken it. But now, he couldn't use it, because the ancient Buddha palm print would counterattack itself, and if he used corpse explosion, the first to die would be himself. His talent only had one chance to resurrect, so he must cherish it. Lin Mo knew that he was facing the greatest crisis since he changed jobs, and life and death were on the line. Even so, he still didn't regret it. We must find a way, we can't sit still and wait for death. Lin Mo unfolded the wings of the undead and began to retreat. The undead legion had already scattered, and no longer needed to maintain the long dragon formation, so he could also move. He transformed into a stream of light, retreating rapidly. The light speed lich gave him an amazing speed of 150,000 kilometers per second, which was comparable to the godly Venerable. Although it was still not as good as the ancient Buddha palm print, it could at least delay more time. As he changed direction, the ancient Buddha palm print also changed direction. The skeleton god generals, death knights, and bone dragons all went up together, unleashing their strongest attacks. The 200 legion rulers who owned legions also unleashed their fatal strikes. The remaining legion rulers did not have such strong combat power, but their own defense power was also among the best in the undead legion. One by one, they crashed into the ancient Buddha palm print, while the undead law permeated their bodies, sending all the undead law into the ancient Buddha palm print. The Skeleton King strode forward, as Lin Mo's current strongest summon, under the blessing of that strong soldier's source spell, the Skeleton King's combat power had faintly surpassed the lesser godly Venerable. It swung the Godslayer, and a sword light erupted on the ancient Buddha palm print. The ancient Buddha palm print trembled slightly, and then there was no movement. The Skeleton King collapsed in response, and died on the spot. The undead legion was not afraid of life and death, and went crazy, going all out to stop the ancient Buddha palm print. Under their successive efforts, the ancient Buddha palm print finally weakened by a circle. It was the same as the scene Lin Mo saw in the Peering Truth technique. Although the ancient Buddha palm print had weakened, it could still kill him. Chapter 14:11. Finding a glimmer of hope in danger. Lin Mo was still retreating, trying to buy time. The summoning was still in progress. At this moment, every second he could delay meant a little more hope. The number of the undead legion was decreasing sharply, the undead were dying in battle, and the speed of summoning couldn't keep up. Lin Mo kept calm, his thoughts racing like lightning, considering various methods. He didn't panic. Panicking wouldn't solve any problems, it would only push himself towards death. The speed of the ancient Buddha palm print was slightly faster than Lin Mo, and the two were getting closer and closer. Lin Mo's pressure was constantly increasing, his soul seemed to be squeezed, inevitably giving rise to a sense of fear. There is great terror between life and death. This is an emotion that ordinary people cannot avoid. Even a figure like Xiaosheng could not help but hesitate in the face of life and death. However, Lin Mo was used to death, and he didn't know how many times he had been killed by Antares. Compared to others, Lin Mo's ability to withstand was stronger. The sense of fear was nipped in the bud, and a stronger desire to survive took over. Lin Mo believed that there is always a way out. Moreover, he still had a trump card, the life-saving item given by that important figure. But he didn't want to use it until he was in a truly desperate situation. Suddenly, Lin Mo noticed that the ancient Buddha palm print had paused almost imperceptibly. The pause lasted less than 0.01 seconds, but at his current speed, 0.01 seconds was enough to fly 1,500 kilometers. The distance between himself and the ancient Buddha palm print had obviously increased. It's the squeezing force. Lin Mo's eyes flashed with brilliance, and he once again communicated with the Lich of the Buddha Kingdom to use the truth-seeking spell, the third and last time he used the truth-seeking spell today. At this time, he had realized the benefits of the truth-seeking spell, which could allow him to see certain possibilities in the future, so as to respond. The truth-seeking spell once again moved the laws of destiny, peeking into a certain possibility in the future. In the future picture, he escaped to the center of the Land of Wonders, heading to the Lost Star. On the way, he encountered the Wonder Spirit. The Wonder Spirits were strong and weak, the weak ones were only at the 3rd level of the God King, and the strong ones could reach the 9th level of the God King. The Wonder Spirits manipulated the squeezing force to attack him, causing his speed to suddenly slow down. At the same time, the Wonder Spirits also attacked the ancient Buddha palm print, but the ancient Buddha palm print was less affected than him. The result was that the ancient Buddha palm print quickly caught up and blasted him into dregs. This possibility in the future was very bad. He died very simply. Judging from the future picture, going to the lost star was a dead end. But often a chance of survival is born in desperation, and Lin Mo found a way from it. Lin Mo's eyes flashed with brilliance, becoming more and more firm. Danger and opportunity coexist, we must make reasonable use of danger. This area is the territory of the Wonder Spirits. The closer you get to the lost star, the more Wonder Spirits there are. Using the Wonder Spirits to get out of trouble should be feasible. In the blink of an eye, Lin Mo had formulated a plan. But this plan also had uncertainty, and it had to be adjusted as the situation changed. What the truth-seeking spell saw was only a certain possibility. Lin Mo followed his plan, flying towards the lost star as fast as possible. The Undead Legion was still being summoned continuously, but the Undead Legion no longer attacked the ancient Buddha palm print. In Lin Mo's plan, the Undead Legion had other uses. All the newly summoned Undead Legion returned to the spell star, ready to be called upon. I didn't expect that an ancient Buddha palm print would wipe out my Undead Legion. The ancient Buddha is indeed very strong, but I have remembered this hatred. In the future, I will personally visit the Buddha clan to ask for an explanation. Lin Mo became fierce in his heart, silently making a vow. He would let the Buddha clan know how great the price of this palm would be. From this moment on, the Buddha clan was added to his blacklist. Even when Kongwen Buddha wanted to kill him before, Lin Mo had never thought of being an enemy of the entire Buddha clan. After facing the little light bodhisattva, although he still had no good feelings for the Buddha clan, he still didn't think of being an enemy of the Buddha clan. But now, Lin Mo stood on the opposite side of the Buddha clan. The Wonder Spirits appeared in sight, and the Wonder Spirits also discovered Lin Mo and the ancient Buddha palm print. The Wonder Spirits, as their name suggests, looked extremely wonderful. They didn't seem to have a specific shape, and their own shape was constantly changing. Sometimes they were very soft, like a mass of water. Sometimes they turned into invisible, like thick fog. Sometimes they would condense together, becoming like solids, and even emitting a metallic luster. The Wonder Spirit flew towards Lin Mo. This was only a Wonder Spirit at the 5th level of the God King, not very strong among the Wonder Spirits. It suddenly stopped when it was still tens of thousands of meters away from Lin Mo. It didn't react at all as Lin Mo flew past it. After Lin Mo flew away, the Wonder Spirit suddenly recovered. It ignored Lin Mo who had just gone far away, and instead turned its attention to the ancient Buddha palm print. The Wonder Spirit didn't have a mouth, but it could make a sharp cry. It seemed to have a strong aversion to the ancient Buddha palm print. It launched an attack on the ancient Buddha palm print, mobilizing the squeezing force to fall on the palm print. The palm print shaking slightly, and was not affected. But the Wonder Spirit collapsed and died on the spot. How could a Wonder Spirit with only the 5th level of the God King withstand the ancient Buddha palm print's counterattack? Death was normal. Lin Mo also needed it to die. It could only play a role after it died. After the Wonder Spirit died, an invisible force erupted, directly acting on the ancient Buddha palm print. The ancient Buddha palm print vibrated slightly, and a slight distortion occurred. After the Wonder Spirit died, it would form a special force that could enhance the flesh. According to Xiao Shang, this force was somewhat similar to the squeezing force, but it was more violent than the squeezing force, and could compress the flesh to the greatest extent, thereby improve the flesh's strength. 0. The advantage was that the intensity of killing the Wonder Spirit could be controlled, so that the flesh could always withstand the greatest extent of squeezing force. The disadvantage was that once it was killed too much, the flesh would easily collapse. Xiao Shang was like this. He accidentally killed too much, and almost died. The squeezing force generated after the death of a Wonder Spirit at the 5th level of the God King would exceed its attack before death. Finally, it had a slight impact on the ancient Buddha palm print. Lin Mo saw this scene and was delighted in his heart, knowing that his plan had worked. Just now, it had at least delayed him for another 0.01 seconds. Starlight flashed on his body, and the Starlight Lich was sitting on Lin Mo's shoulder. Just now, it was able to influence the Wonder Spirit through the illusion in an instant. Let the Wonder Spirit ignore Lin Mo, and also regard the ancient Buddha palm print as its most hated thing. The lost star was getting closer, the number of Wonder Spirits began to increase, and one Wonder Spirit after another with no fixed shape flew towards Lin Mo. The Starlight Lich flew out, customized the illusion for the Wonder Spirit, ignoring Lin Mo and transfer hatred. Lin Mo flew past the Wonder Spirit, not daring to stay at all. The Wonder Spirit then attacked the ancient Buddha palm print, and was counter-killed. The squeezing force formed after the death of the Wonder Spirit formed a considerable obstacle to the ancient Buddha palm print, not only consumed some of the ancient Buddha palm print's power but also slowed it down. At this moment, the Wonder Spirit became the best comrade, the two sides share a common hatred for the enemy. The future fragment seen through the truth-seeking spell before was completely broken. Under constant interference, the speed of the ancient Buddha palm print was finally surpassed by Lin Mo, and the distance between the two sides began to gradually widen. Chapter 14:12. Who are you calling unreliable? If the ancient Buddha palm print had consciousness, it would undoubtedly be furious right now. The duck that was already in its beak suddenly flew away again. The ancient Buddha palm print obviously wouldn't get angry, it continued to track Lin Mo Yu. No matter how Lin Mo Yu changed direction, it would alter its position at the first opportunity. During this time, Lin Mo Yu also tried to sever the ancient Buddha palm print's lock, but all attempts ended in failure. He never figured out how the ancient Buddha palm print was tracking him. The difference in levels created a massive information gap. Lin Mo Yu knew that if anyone else faced this palm strike, they would surely die. Even if Xiao Sheng came, it would be the same. Even for himself, it was a perilous situation. The ancient Buddha palm print behind him was already becoming difficult to see, but Lin Mo Yu didn't relax in the slightest. The soul's perception of danger in the dark constantly reminded Lin Mo Yu that the danger still existed. As long as the ancient Buddha palm print was still around, he would face the danger of being killed at any moment. Continuing to use the mysterious spirit to interfere with the ancient Buddha palm print, the distance between Lin Mo Yu and the ancient Buddha palm print grew further and further. Lin Mo Yu was somewhat grateful that he hadn't encountered a sudden burst of squeezing pressure along the way. In the area where the mysterious spirits lived, sometimes immense squeezing pressure would suddenly erupt in a certain area like flashes of lightning. He hadn't encountered any of that, which was indeed fortunate. After flying another tens of millions of kilometers, mysterious spirits no longer appeared before him. Suddenly, an unimaginable, immense squeezing pressure landed on him. This squeezing pressure completely exceeded the limit that his physical body could withstand, and Lin Mo Yu's God King golden body was almost about to collapse in an instant. The damage transfer instinctively activated. Fortunately, during this time, Lin Mo Yu had already summoned tens of millions of undead legions. Naturally, it couldn't compare to the hundreds of millions of legions during his peak, but it was enough for Lin Mo Yu to share the damage. I've left the area of the mysterious spirits. This is the true center of the mysterious land. Lin Mo Yu looked at the incredibly huge lost star in his sight. After passing through the 10th layer area was the area where the mysterious spirits were located. After passing through the area where the mysterious spirits were located, he truly entered the center of the mysterious land. Here, the squeezing pressure would become incredibly immense. A God King rank 1 physical body would be crushed into powder here in an instant. Even Xiao Sheng wouldn't be able to move freely here. Lin Mo Yu could only rely on damage transfer to move around here. Moreover, the closer he got to the lost star, the greater the squeezing pressure would become. In the end, even the laws would be unable to escape this squeezing pressure and would be completely compressed together. This squeezing pressure had already become powerful to the extreme. Even a god venerate couldn't enter the very center here. Lin Mo Yu naturally didn't dare to go deep. As long as he dared to approach, the squeezing pressure would squeeze him into pieces, allowing his flesh and blood to forever be with the lost star. What damage transfer? It would be useless. Only the edges were where he could withstand. So, as soon as Lin Mo Yu entered the central area, he immediately began flying along the edges, completely not daring to go deep. Lin Mo Yu relied on the passive skill of damage transfer, circling around the edges. At the same time, Lin Mo Yu released some skeletons, letting them leave the central area to observe the surroundings. The entire central area wasn't large, roughly a circle with a diameter of 1 million kilometers and a circumference of about 30 million kilometers. At Lin Mo Yu's speed, flying around the edge would only take 200 seconds. Lin Moyu didn't need to fly a whole circle, he only needed to fly half a circle, or even a small portion was enough. He circled around half the area at the fastest speed, reaching the other end of the central area. At this moment, the ancient Buddha palm print had just entered the central area. The ancient Buddha palm print wouldn't turn, it would only chase Lin Moyu along a straight line. Now, Lin Moyu stood at the other end of the central area, using the skeletons he had released earlier to observe the ancient Buddha palm print through the undead's vision. Between him and the ancient Buddha palm print was the lost star. In his plan, the ancient Buddha palm print would pass through the lost star in a straight line to attack him. The time he had gained earlier using the mysterious spirits would be used here. He had utilized the characteristics of the mysterious land and the ancient Buddha palm print's tendency to move in a straight line. Whether it can be blocked depends on the lost star. I really want to know the result in advance. If only the truth-seeking art could still be used. The 3 daily uses had already been exhausted today. Otherwise, he could see the outcome in advance. As long as he didn't take action, the result seen from the truth-seeking art shouldn't be wrong. The ancient Buddha palm print rushed into the central area, heading towards Lin Moyu in a straight line. It completely ignored the lost star in the middle. Perhaps in the ancient Buddha's eyes, nothing could block its palm strike. The ancient Buddha palm print got closer and closer to the lost star, and the squeezing pressure increased sharply. Lin Moyu saw the ancient Buddha palm print begin to tremble, vibrate, and become unstable. The squeezing pressure in the central area was not comparable to that of the mysterious spirits. Even the mysterious spirits could affect it, let alone here. The ancient Buddha palm print endured the immense squeezing pressure, its speed began to slow down, and its aura also weakened. The palm print began to shrink, smaller and smaller, the huge squeezing pressure came from all directions, crushing it into a ball. When it finally landed on the lost star, it had little power left. The lost star let out a roar, violently shaking for a few seconds before falling silent. The ancient Buddha palm print had merged with the lost star, completely dissipating. At this moment, Lin Moyu's soul also became quiet, no longer transmitting danger signals. Lin Moyu let out a long breath, finally dealt with it. His tense nerves finally relaxed. The next moment, he left the central area and began to return the way he came. During the return journey, he summarized his gains and losses this time. Actually, I could have thought of this method earlier. I'm still too stupid and not flexible enough. I need to make reasonable use of the terrain's advantages. If I had run behind the lost star earlier and used the lost star as a shield, the undead legion wouldn't have been damaged. Or am I too confident in my strength, thinking that the undead legion is enough to deal with it? The difference in realms is worlds apart. Confidence is a good thing, but sometimes it can be fatal. Fortunately, it was only one palm strike. If the ancient Buddha had come in person, I guess even the lost star wouldn't be able to block it. Lin Moyu recalled the whole process, in which the truth-seeking art played a major role. Using the truth-seeking art, he was able to formulate corresponding countermeasures. The truth-seeking art was magical, but even more magical was the law of fate. The truth-seeking art only obtained some small fragments from the law of fate. If he could really control the law of fate, he might really be able to predict the future. As he gradually relaxed, Lin Moyu couldn't help but mutter to himself, these great figures of the human race are really unreliable. They haven't come for so long. If I weren't lucky enough, I would have really died. Then the great figures could only come to collect my corpse, or perhaps there wouldn't even be a corpse. Lin Moyu thought that he had previously felt that the Buddhist race couldn't kill him on human territory. He didn't expect to almost be slapped in the face. The great figures of the human race are really unreliable. Just as he was thinking this, a voice rang in his ear, "Who are you calling unreliable?" Chapter 14:13. One's own life must be fought for. Wrapped in a black robe, exuding a mysterious and noble aura, his face couldn't be seen clearly, as if obscured by a layer of mist. Lin Moyu was very certain that this guy was the mysterious person he had met in the black hole before. The undead vision looked over from a distant place. Lin Moyu trembled slightly, and disconnected from the undead vision. The soul fire was too dazzling. The moment the undead vision looked over, the soul fire occupied the entire vision, directly severing the connection. The gap in realm was too great. The mysterious person looked into the distance, where there was a skeleton, not bad ability, to be able to directly perceive other people's souls. Even the godly sovereigns would find it difficult to discover. The mysterious person's voice was very crisp, sounding like they were not very old. They pointed out the ability of the undead vision in one sentence. Of course, the ability of the undead vision is not only to perceive souls. However, Lin Mo didn't want to continue chatting with them on this issue. Senior, were you here just now? The mysterious person's voice seemed very calm. What do you think? What do I think? What nonsense am I supposed to say? Lin Mo felt that they definitely weren't in O3 just now, but he was too embarrassed to say that he wasn't. Thinking this in his heart, he said, it seems that you wanted to test this, Junior. If I had known you were here, I wouldn't have had to work so hard. The mist on the mysterious person's face trembled slightly. Lin Mo felt that they should have some expression, but he just couldn't see it. The mysterious person said, no matter when, you can't entrust your life to others, you have to fight for your own life. Lin Mo's mouth twitched slightly. Before he was still guessing that this guy shouldn't be here. Now he was completely sure that this guy definitely wasn't here. If he had really waited for them to save his life just now, he was afraid that the grass on his grave would be 3 meters high. But what they said was also right. You have to fight for your own life. It's better to rely on yourself than on anyone else. Thank you, Senior. This junior has learned a lot. Lin Mo bowed slightly towards the mysterious person to show his respect. No matter what he thought of them in his heart, at least on the surface, he was still polite to them. The mysterious person gave a light, sound, seeming very satisfied with Lin Mo's attitude. Seeing that their attitude seemed quite kind, and they didn't have the aloofness they had in the black hole before, Lin Mo took the opportunity to ask, Senior, I have a question. Speak, how did the palm of the ancient Buddha lock onto me? Lin Mo had always been very curious about this. How could the ancient Buddha lock onto him? The Buddhist clan was countless light years away from the battlefield. Even crossing such a long space, they could still firmly lock onto him. Even the ancient Buddha couldn't do that. The mysterious person said faintly, Law of Karma. Law of Karma. Lin Mo repeated the mysterious person's words. I remember, the law of karma is ranked in the first echelon. It is a mysterious and powerful law. No one in our human race has mastered this law. I didn't expect that someone in the Buddhist clan actually possesses this law. The mysterious person snorted lightly. They haven't mastered this law. They can only use a trace of it through ancient treasures. And you don't need to worry. They can only unleash this one palm, and it will be difficult to lock onto you again afterwards. Lin Mo exhaled, feeling much more relieved. He was just afraid that if the other party gave him a few more hits, it would be a real headache. He couldn't possibly just hide here and not go out, right? Lin Mo asked, then will they come over themselves? No, the mysterious person answered decisively, that guy is having a hard time protecting themselves. The ancient Buddha is having a hard time protecting themselves. These 4 words contained a lot of information. For a moment, Lin Mo's thoughts ran wild. The mysterious person coughed lightly, interrupting Lin Mo's thoughts. You don't need to guess blindly, those levels of things have nothing to do with you. I am very curious, why they would attack you. Lin Mo smiled. I obtained a statue of a meditating Buddha in the Nether Marsh. I didn't expect that the Buddha statue hid the soul of the joyful Buddha. The joyful Buddha said that they were the grandson of the ancient Buddha, but I ignored them. The mysterious person seemed to be looking at Lin Mo. Lin Mo felt an invisible gaze. After a few breaths, the mysterious person opened their mouth and asked, what did you do to the joyful Buddha? Lin Mo said with a straight face, my spells can't be stopped once they are activated. They were refined. Refined, which means they were dead. No matter what the process was, the result was the same. The world no longer has the person known as the joyful Buddha. You are quite bold, knowing that they are the grandson of the ancient Buddha and still dare to kill them. The mysterious person's voice was still calm, not knowing whether they were praising Lin Mo or mocking Lin Mo. Lin Mo took it as them praising him. I don't even know if what they said was true or false. Besides, my spells really can't be stopped. If they had said it earlier, maybe there would have been a chance. Is that so? The mysterious person sneered, obviously not believing Lin Mo's words. Lin Mo silently replied in his heart, yes, if they had said it earlier, I would have let Senior Zhu eliminate them. I think Senior Zhu should be able to block a palm from the ancient Buddha. Lin Mo felt that Zhu Qiwu wouldn't have a problem blocking that palm. Even if they couldn't block it, they would definitely have a way to save their life. Seeing that Lin Mo didn't speak, the mysterious person changed the question, why didn't you use the life-saving stone I gave you? It hasn't reached a desperate situation yet. If there's really no other way, I'll use it. Lin Mo answered very honestly this time. In fact, that was indeed the case. The mysterious person said, take out the life-saving stone. Lin Mo took out the black life-saving stone, this unremarkable stone, something that no one would even pick up if it fell on the road, who would have known that it came from the hands of a great figure. The mysterious person stretched out their finger and gently pointed at the life-saving stone. An invisible law entered the life-saving stone, the originally black stone became even darker. Lin Mo felt it was slightly hot, as if the power inside had become a bit stronger. The mysterious person said, I have enhanced its power. If there is another ancient Buddha-level figure attacking you, it can save you from death. Lin Mo's mouth twitched twice. The subtext in the mysterious person's words was saying that if he had encountered an ancient Buddha-level figure attacking him before, the life-saving stone wouldn't have been able to save his life. It couldn't before, but now it can after being strengthened. Wasn't this a rip-off? Luckily he didn't use it this time. If he had placed his hopes on the life-saving stone this time, would he have died? Indeed, you can't trust others too much, you still have to fight for your own life. Lin Mo thought in his heart, put away the life-saving stone, and said, thank you, senior. The mysterious person said, all right, you can cultivate on your own. As soon as the voice fell, the mysterious person rippled like water, and then disappeared like a bursting bubble. Lin Mo let out a sigh. As expected, my level is still not high enough. I guess even if I asked some things, I wouldn't get an answer. Lin Mo naturally had other questions, but he felt that even if he asked, he wouldn't get an answer, so he simply didn't ask. The crisis of the ancient Buddha's palm print had passed. Lin Mo turned his attention to this special void. He was preparing to use the spirit of wonders to cultivate his physical body. Outside the land of wonders, Zhu Qiwu's eyes were filled with worry. Suddenly, a voice sounded in his ear, he's fine now. First 1414th chapters, a look down on oneself. The mysterious person appeared beside Zhu Qiwu. The calm voice in Zhu Qiwu's ears was like heavenly music. Zhu Qiwu relaxed, with you taking action, naturally nothing will happen. The mysterious person shook their head, I didn't take action, he saved himself. Zhu Qiwu was slightly stunned, facing the ancient Buddha's palm print, how could he save himself? Even he couldn't block the ancient Buddha's attack, he wouldn't necessarily die, but he would definitely be injured. Although Lin Mo's talent was powerful, his true strength was still worlds apart compared to him, how could he possibly block it? The mysterious person said, he is very smart, he used the characteristics of the spirit of wonders to delay time. Then he used the lost star of the center to resolve the ancient Buddha's palm print. Zhu Qiwu gave an, oh, sound, it's good that he's alright, it's good that he's alright, that stinky brat is indeed quite smart. The mysterious person snorted lightly, but this time he was lucky, he happened to be in the land of wonders. If he was elsewhere, he would basically be dead without a doubt. The mysterious person looked at Zhu Qiwu, the problem with this matter lies with you, you should have handled the statue of the meditating Buddha, right? Zhu Qiwu gave an, sound, I did handle it. You didn't see that there was a Buddha's soul hidden in the statue of the meditating Buddha. This Buddha's soul is the grandson of the ancient Buddha, so the ancient Buddha was able to use the law of karma to attack Lin Mo. Hearing these words, Zhu Qiwu's face was not good. Before, when the ancient Buddha's palm print appeared, he had guessed that the problem should be with the statue of the meditating Buddha. He actually knew what Lin Mo was going to do with the statue of the meditating Buddha. He could only blame himself for not being careful enough at the time, and not discovering that there was actually a Buddha's soul hidden inside. This Buddha's soul was actually the grandson of the ancient Buddha. It almost killed Lin Mo Yu. The mysterious person said, everyone has their own destiny. If someone is truly meant to die, no one can stop it. The occurrence of this matter isn't necessarily bad. As the saying goes, every mistake has its silver lining, and it gives us an excuse. Zhu Qiwu trembled, his voice filled with shock, are we going to take action against the Buddhist clan? The mysterious person didn't answer directly, hurry up and break through. Perhaps you can still make it in time. Zhu Qiwu's eyes revealed intense fighting spirit, his fists clenched tightly, okay. Lin Mo Yu was still replenishing his undead legion. This near-death experience had almost completely wiped out the undead legion. Now, half a day had passed, and he had only resummoned 1/3 of them. But even 1/3 was more than enough to deal with the wondrous spirits. Lin Mo Yu had already figured out how to act next, maximizing his advantages to improve his physical body in the shortest amount of time. In the distance, a strong aura shot towards here. Lin Moyu looked at the approaching person. Senior brother Xiao, why are you here? Xiao Sheng rushed over quickly, stopping in front of Lin Moyu with a whoosh. Junior brother Lin, you're all right, that's great. His voice was somewhat excited, and there was still undisguised anxiety in his eyes. Lin Moyu smiled slightly, a narrow escape. Xiao Sheng nodded. Junior brother Lin is indeed extraordinary, even able to withstand a palm strike from an ancient Buddha. Lin Moyu roughly understood Xiao Sheng's intentions, and could also feel Xiao Sheng's genuine concern. It was just luck. Senior brother Xiao's injuries haven't healed yet, you shouldn't have come. Xiao Sheng shook his head, it's nothing. With junior brother Lin's loss sphere, these minor injuries will heal quickly. It's just a pity that Xiao is unable to help junior brother Lin. Senior brother Xiao's presence is already appreciated. This kindness is more important than anything. The two exchanged a few more words before Xiao Sheng began to return. His injuries hadn't healed, and it was indeed not suitable for him to be here. If anything unexpected happened again, it wouldn't be good. Fortunately, the wondrous spirits along the way had already been cleared out before this. After Xiao Sheng left, Lin Moyu muttered to himself, it's time for me to take action too. One skeleton god general after another flew out, heading in all directions. Lin Moyu didn't need to find the wondrous spirits himself, the skeleton god generals could do it for him. He only needed to wait here, waiting for the skeleton god generals to bring back suitable wondrous spirits. The light speed lich quietly lay on Lin Moyu's shoulder. With it there, the skeleton god generals could also transform into streaks of light, reaching speeds of 150,000 kilometers per second. The land of wonders was neither big nor small. It would still take some time to find the wondrous spirits and bring them over. With a flip of his hand, Lin Moyu produced a small flower pot. A green grass was planted in the flower pot. At the top of the green grass, 5 leaves were neatly arranged, and below there was also a newly grown tender leaf. Previously, Zhu Qiwu had cultivated it for 300 years, only managing to grow 4 leaves into 5, and then there was no more movement. Zhu Qiwu had used various methods, all to no avail. When Lin Moyu arrived, he used a bit of the life force from the undying law, causing the grass to grow a new leaf, which was why Zhu Qiwu gave the grass to Lin Moyu. The detection technique yielded no results. Lin Moyu tried to use summon elemental lich, treating the grass as a material, but it also had no effect. Open black lens bracket infinite fusion close black lens bracket also seemed to have no interest in it. Lin Moyu tried to infuse it with life force, and the grass immediately perked up. In this void space, the grass stood tall and lush. The newest tender leaf seemed to have grown a little as well. What kind of grass is this exactly? It comes from chaotic rules, it should be related to the ancient times. From the looks of it, the undying law is useful to it. It should not have fully grown yet, perhaps it will be of great use in the future. Lin Moyu tried it out and found that the growth of the grass was not something that could be achieved in a day. A large amount of death force was poured into it, but it only made its 6th leaf slightly larger. See if it can be taken into the soul. A wisp of soul force stretched out, wrapping around the grass. He wanted to try if he could take the grass into his soul, allowing his soul to nourish it. The soul force wrapped around the grass, but the grass remained motionless, unable to be taken into the soul like a magic weapon. Lin Moyu guessed that Zhu Qiwu should have also tried to take it into his soul before, but obviously failed. Does it need to be claimed as its master like a magic weapon? It shouldn't be that simple. If it were that simple, Senior Zhu would have let it recognize him long ago. It seems, I can only study it slowly in the future. After trying for a while, Lin Moyu could only reluctantly give up. The grass in front of him swayed slowly under the wrapping of soul force, moving automatically without Wind Jiao Hao's. That appearance, with a bit of arrogance, seemed to look down on Lin Moyu's soul force. It was as if it was saying, "You still want to take me in, you are far from qualified." Lin Moyu was a little dumbfounded, feeling that the grass seemed to have spirituality, actually looking down on him. He suspected that he was hallucinating, a sequelae of just escaping death. Just as Lin Moyu was about to give up completely, the talent giant tree in his soul suddenly moved. The talent giant tree in the soul world blotted out the sky and the sun. Its roots were very developed, plunging into the void and not knowing where they led. Lin Moyu knew that the roots of the talent giant tree were constantly drawing powerful energy, transforming it into vast soul force, which could provide support for him at any time. With it present, he didn't need to worry about his soul force being exhausted. Unless he fought to the death, he could last a long time. At this time, the roots of the talent giant tree vibrated wildly, and one of the roots withdrew from the void, extending along the soul force to the great world. Chapter 14-15 Sapling of the Undying Tree, One More Life. Lin Moyu was also a little caught off guard by the sudden action of the talent giant tree. The roots that had never appeared in his eyes stretched out at this moment, coiling towards the grass in his hand. It's useful to the talent giant tree. Lin Moyu was a little surprised in his heart, because he had previously experienced open black lens bracket infinite fusion close black lens bracket asking for mysterious iron blocks and spiritual materials, and he was also a little accustomed to it. Open black lens bracket infinite fusion close black lens bracket could give birth to some intelligence, then it seemed not impossible for the talent giant tree to give birth to intelligence. Lin Moyu would naturally not stop the talent giant tree, let alone just an unknown grass, even if it was something more precious, as long as the talent giant tree wanted it, he would give it. No matter how precious the grass was, in the end it was just a grass, just an external object. The talent giant tree was something that completely belonged to him, and it was a very worthwhile deal to strengthen himself with external objects. The roots of the talent giant tree wrapped around the grass, the movements were a bit wild, and there was no such careful appearance. It was not afraid of damaging the grass at all. The grass was surprisingly tough and difficult to damage. Zhu Qiwu had said that this thing couldn't be broken and couldn't die. Being wrapped by the roots, the grass trembled, seeming a little scared, not at all like the arrogant appearance just now. Lin Moyu was sure that even if this grass had not given birth to intelligence, it had a strong instinct. If he gave it a little more time to grow, it might really give birth to intelligence. At that time, plant transformation, maybe it would turn into something powerful. With its characteristics of being difficult to kill and difficult to damage, it might be another starry sky giant tree. No, starry sky giant grass. After the roots completely wrapped the grass, it suddenly exerted force, forcibly pulling the grass out of the flower pot. The soil in the flower pot flew out. Lin Moyu stretched out his hand and summoned the flying soil back. This soil was not ordinary soil, but the holy soil from a certain race, containing extremely strong vitality. Just the soil itself was a good God King realm material. The roots of the grass were surprisingly developed. Looking at the grass, it was only less than 30 centimeters, but its roots were very dense. 1. When hidden in the dirt, it was hard to see, but now it's crystal clear. The slender roots are intertwined and tangled together, looking like a knotted ball of yarn. This thing, it's not growing downwards, is it? Just as Lin Moyu was thinking, he received information from the talent giant tree. The talent giant tree conveyed a faint message, asking, "Can I eat it? I want to eat it." The talent giant tree was like a child, asking its father, "Can I eat it?" Lin Moyu readily agreed. The talent giant tree immediately seemed happy, grabbing the small grass and taking it back with it. In the soul world, the talent giant tree's roots curled around the small grass, then buried it within its dense and thriving roots. Clearly visible energy rose from the roots, flowing throughout the entire tree. The entire tree body trembled, and the branches swayed incessantly. It's digested already. Lin Moyu didn't expect the talent giant tree's digestion speed to be so fast, almost instantly digesting the small grass. And extracting the power from the small grass. The talent giant tree does have the ability to refine, but this refining speed is too fast. The tenacity of the small grass is astonishing, not only difficult to damage, but also able to thrive smoothly in the starry sky. Lin Moyu couldn't help but sigh, it really is one thing subduing another. The talent giant tree absorbed the power of the small grass, and then formed a small cyan fruit among its branches. The cyan fruit was very vividly cyan, making people salivate at first glance, feeling that this fruit should be very sour. The fruit grew rapidly, changing from the size of a fingernail to the size of a fist in less than 10 seconds. Then the fruit fell off, landing right in the soul body's hand. Lin Moyu had a flash of insight, and the soul opened its mouth and ate the fruit. At the same time, a piece of information was transmitted from the talent giant tree, and Lin Moyu finally knew what the small grass was. The small grass was named the seedling of the undying tree. Lin Moyu didn't know what the undying tree was, never having heard of it, but judging by the name, it should be very powerful. The talent giant tree refined this seedling, refining it into a fruit. After eating the fruit, the talent changed accordingly. Nothing else changed, but the ability of the talent related to rebirth changed from being able to be reborn once every 30 seconds to being able to be reborn twice every 30 seconds. The cooldown time is still 30 seconds, but the number of times it can be reborn has become 2. Each rebirth will trigger a reset of spell cooldowns. In this way, it becomes even more difficult to kill Lin Mo Yu. Lin Mo Yu felt that if he faced the ancient Buddha palm print again, even without the help of the mysterious spirit and the lost stars, he might have a chance to survive. Of course, this was purely a feeling, and he wouldn't court death by jumping in front of the ancient Buddha and saying, "Give me another one, and see if I'll die." This can be considered making the best use of everything. Lin Mo Yu's eyes gleamed with joy. No result could be better than this. Even if he were to exchange it for several God-venerate realm magic treasures, Lin Mo Yu wouldn't trade. No amount of external force is as good as one's own strength. Having an extra life is the most important thing. The talent giant tree seemed very happy, constantly swaying and conveying its emotions. Lin Mo Yu discovered that besides himself benefiting, the talent giant tree also seemed to have gained some benefits. Its spirituality seemed to have been enhanced. A talent giving birth to spiritual intelligence is like a spell giving birth to spiritual intelligence, something that has never been heard of. The skeleton god general transmitted information that a skeleton god general had returned with a mysterious spirit. Lin Mo Yu's attention returned to the mysterious land, looking into the distance. A skeleton god general transformed into a stream of light, flying towards him. Behind him, followed a mysterious spirit. The mysterious spirit's speed was a bit slower than the skeleton god general's, and the distance between them was somewhat far. According to Lin Mo Yu's order, the skeleton god general brought back a mysterious spirit of the God King Third Order. Such mysterious spirits were the most numerous and the lowest in rank here. Lin Mo Yu naturally wanted to try from low to high, testing his limits step by step. He is now a God King First Order body, and because of the perfect advancement, he has reached the level of the God King Golden body, which is several times stronger than an ordinary God King Realm body. Lin Mo Yu knew that the God King Realm body was very strong, but because he hadn't used it, he still needed to try it out. Lin Mo Yu pointed his finger towards the mysterious spirit in the void. Stellar level spell, Bone Hell. This newly mastered spell was used for the first time. Merging 4 bone-type spells, while giving up the bonus of 4-star spells, Lin Mo Yu expressed that he was looking forward to the power of this spell. The world that Lin Mo Yu pointed to instantly turned into a gray and white world. This world only had gray and white colors, the same as the world seen from the undead vision. The gray and white world occupied a 10,000-meter radius of the starry sky. In the world, bones were piled up, with old gray large bones, and new slender white bones, distributed randomly and densely in this world. The gray and white world seemed to be connected to the real hell. In various locations of the world, whether in the sky or underground, a large number of holes appeared at the same time, spewing out a massive amount of gray flames, almost turning the bone hell into a real hell. These flames came from hell, and were extremely powerful. The mysterious spirit was burned by the flames, its entire body was ignited, and it let out a sharp scream. The feeling these flames gave Lin Mo Yu was almost exactly the same as his undying flames, but they were more aggressive, and their power seemed to be greater. And his undying flames were more of an auxiliary ability, resurrecting the dead, and would not actively attack. They were both undying flames, but they were undying flames with different properties. Chapter 14:16, Slave in Bone Hell. The gray and white world of Bone Hell was shrouded in flames. The undying flames from the real hell contained amazing power. The mysterious spirit of the God King Third Order only lasted less than a minute inside before being burned to ashes. Then, waves of pressure appeared out of nowhere on Lin Mo Yu. The appearance of the squeezing force was very strange. There would be no warning beforehand, and it would appear at the moment the mysterious spirit died. Lin Mo Yu felt as if the mysterious spirit was taking revenge on him in death. Of course, this was just a feeling, and Lin Mo Yu didn't plan to find the root cause. The huge squeezing force came from all directions, constantly impacting him. The squeezing force at the soul level was the weakest. In front of the 4th grade peak soul barrier, this level of squeezing force was nothing. The squeezing force at the physical level was much greater. Lin Mo Yu felt it was slightly greater than the 10th layer area. But it was also extremely limited, and could not touch the limit of his physical body. If he only relied on killing mysterious spirits of the God King Third Order, the speed of improvement might be slower than the 10th layer area. After such a test, Lin Mo Yu knew that simply killing mysterious spirits of the God King Third Order was far from enough. If he wanted to improve his physical body as soon as possible, he needed to kill more advanced mysterious spirits. Bone Hell was still flickering in the starry sky. The gray and white world seemed somewhat out of place in the darkness, and was extremely eye-catching. The mysterious spirit had just died, and was reborn in the strange Bone Hell. Its form was exactly the same as before, constantly changing, without a specific appearance. Only its color had turned gray and white, and it was covered with a thin layer of gray flames. It died in Bone Hell and became a slave of Bone Hell. As long as Lin Mo Yu's hell did not die, it would never be able to escape. Even if it died again in Bone Hell, it would be reborn soon after. Bone Hell seems to be more powerful than expected. And as I kill more and more enemies, Bone Hell will become stronger and stronger. It's another spell that gets stronger the more you fight. Lin Mo Yu experienced the power of Bone Hell. This power was not one time, but constantly getting stronger. 2. But similarly, the strengthening of the Bone Hell requires one's own efforts. It requires constant killing of enemies and accumulating power. If the Bone Hell, the Undead Legion, and the Buddha's Palm Dimension are coordinated, how strong can the combat power be? Lin Mo Yu was thinking about tactics, while the Skeleton God General brought back the Spirit of Wonders again. The number of Spirits of Wonders brought back this time has increased, with a total of 4. 3 of them are at the 3rd level of the God King realm, and 1 is at the 4th level of the God King realm. Lin Mo Yu also wanted to see if killing multiple Spirits of Wonders at the same time would have a better stimulating effect on his physical body. The Bone Hell reappeared in the void, enveloping the 4 Spirits of Wonders within it. The Bone Hell is not only an attack method, but also has a certain ability to trap enemies. The 4 Spirits of Wonders have no intelligence, they randomly collide within the Bone Hell, making it difficult to escape for a while. Lin Mo Yu temporarily ignored the Spirit of Wonder at the 4th level of the God King realm, and instead controlled the undead flames in the hell to directly burn the 3 Spirits of Wonder at the 3rd level of the God King realm. The Spirits of Wonders were quickly burned to death, and 3 squeezing forces acted on Lin Mo Yu almost simultaneously. Lin Mo Yu carefully felt it, the superposition of the 3 squeezing forces has indeed increased. It seems that killing multiple Spirits of Wonders at the same time can further increase the squeezing force. I wonder if 3 Spirits of Wonder at the 3rd level of the God King realm can compare to 1 Spirit of Wonder at the 4th level of the God King realm. With a thought, the Skeleton God General rushed into the Bone Hell, and with a sweep of sword energy, the Spirit of Wonder at the 4th level of the God King realm was instantly killed. If using the undead flames would take a while to burn, using the Skeleton God General can directly kill it cleanly. The Skeleton God General has the combat power of the 8th level of the God King realm. The difference in realm gives the Skeleton God General the ability to crush the Spirits of Wonders. The previous encounter with the ancient Buddha palm print wasn't because the Skeleton God General wasn't powerful enough, but because the ancient Buddha palm print was too abnormally strong. The Spirit of Wonder was killed, but the squeezing force did not act on Lin Mo Yu. The Skeleton God General felt the squeezing force at the first moment, and the flames of its soul flickered and danced. Lin Mo Yu was somewhat surprised, so that's how it is. The ones killed by the skeleton don't count towards me. It seems that the plan needs to be changed. The revenge of the Spirit of Wonder falls on whoever killed it. If the Skeleton God General kills it, it counts towards the Skeleton God General and doesn't target Lin Mo Yu at all. This change caused a change in Lin Mo Yu's plan. He originally wanted to use the Skeleton God General to quickly kill a large number of Spirits of Wonders after testing the limit he could withstand. He has a numerical advantage. Whether it's finding the Spirits of Wonders or killing them, he can achieve excellent control and maximize efficiency. But now it's obviously impossible. The Spirits of Wonders killed by the Skeleton God General don't help him at all. 0. Seeking fresh flowers. Lin Mo Yu quickly formulated a new strategy. Use the Skeleton God General to lure the Spirits of Wonders, and then I will personally kill them. If there are too many, let the Starlight Lich use illusions to trap them. I just don't know where the upper limit of the Bone Hell is. If the slaves of the Bone Hell kill the Spirits of Wonders, does it count towards the slaves or towards me? I need to continue testing. Next, Lin Mo Yu conducted several more experiments. He found that if the slaves in the Bone Hell killed the Spirits of Wonders, the revenge would also fall on his head. The combat power of the slaves in the Bone Hell is not much different from when they were alive, and with the undead flames enveloping them, they are not afraid of death. Their attacks will be more fierce and powerful than when they were alive. 0. At the same time, Lin Mo Yu also found the most suitable spirit of wonder for himself in this process. The spirit of wonder at the 6th level of the God King realm is the limit he can currently withstand. Without using damage transfer, if he suffers the revenge of a spirit of wonder at the 7th level of the God King realm, his physical body will quickly collapse. If he uses damage transfer, he will lose the effect of body refining. In the end, Lin Mo Yu decided to find spirits of wonder at the 6th level of the God King realm as much as possible, and he could also kill 5 spirits of wonder at the 5th level of the God King realm at the same time. The effects of the two are the same. During the test, Lin Mo Yu also discovered the upper limit of the Bone Hell. If relying solely on the Bone Hell's own attack power, the upper limit would be to kill a spirit of wonder at the 4th level of the God King realm. For other cultivators who are only at the 1st level of the God King realm, a single technique can complete a battle beyond their level, and even beyond 3 levels. They would definitely think this is a powerful and invincible technique. But for Lin Mo Yu, a technique that can only kill enemies 3 levels above him is just mediocre. He has too many techniques that can accomplish this level of combat. But the true power of the Bone Hell lies not in its attack power, but in its slaves. As long as the creatures that die in the Bone Hell become slaves of the Bone Hell. So Lin Mo Yu brought back high-level spirits of wonder, killed them with the Skeleton God General, and turned them into slaves of the Bone Hell. After a series of tests, there is already a spirit of wonder slave at the 8th level of the God King realm in the Bone Hell. Using this slave, Lin Mo Yu can easily kill any spirit of wonder below the 8th level of the God King realm. Moreover, the revenge of these spirits of wonder will be counted on his own head. Chapter 14-17, 2nd level of God King realm, mythical Lin Mo Yu. In Lin Mo Yu's view, the Bone Hell is simply a mobile barracks. The slaves inside are the soldiers, and he is the general. When not needed, it can be put away, and when needed, it can be released at any time. He tried it out, and if fully unleashed, the maximum range of the Bone Hell can reach a diameter of 100,000 kilometers. Once unfolded, it's like a continent floating in the void, turning a starfield into a gray and white hell filled with bones. The Bone Hell can not only be used to fight enemies, but also to protect oneself. He can envelop himself with the Bone Hell in a special form at any time. It not only provides him with powerful defense, but also marks the enemies who attack him with the Bone Hell. Once marked, they cannot escape the lock of the soul. What a powerful technique, even more powerful than I initially thought. Infinite Fusion has made another contribution. I wonder if Ran will fuse other techniques. Infinite Fusion is currently in a weakened state and will not move for the time being. Lin Mo Yu began to take action. More than 10 million Skeleton God Generals spread out to find one spirit of wonder after another. The Skeleton God Generals selected suitable spirits of wonder and brought them back, and Lin Mo Yu used the Bone Hell to kill them. If there were unsuitable spirits of wonder, Lin Mo Yu would recall the Skeleton God Generals. The Skeleton God Generals disappeared, and the spirits of wonder lost their target and wandered aimlessly in the void. Lin Mo Yu constantly enjoyed the squeezing massage from the spirits of wonder. Under repeated stimulation, his physical body strength was rapidly increasing. The number of slaves in the Bone Hell was rapidly increasing. In less than 100 days, the number of slaves had exceeded 10,000. 2/3 of them were spirits of wonder at the 5th level of the God King realm, and the remaining 1/3 were spirits of wonder at the 6th level of the God King realm. During this process, Lin Mo Yu was also experimenting with other techniques. The Buddhalicious Palm dimension of the Buddha Kingdom can indeed cooperate with the Bone Hell, but unfortunately, the spirits of wonder didn't use any laws, so it was impossible to weaken them. Lin Mo Yu controlled the Buddhalich to randomly weaken a law and amplify the undead law at the same time. The combat power of the Undead Legion suddenly rose to a new level. The Skeleton God General at the 8th level of the God King realm had a combat power approaching the 9th level of the God King realm. Although it didn't achieve a breakthrough, it could already be invincible in the same realm. The whole process went smoothly. In the 100 days, Lin Mo Yu had completely mastered all the changes after his promotion to the God King realm. Time passed day by day, and the physical body at the 1st level of the God King realm was advancing towards the 2nd level of the God King realm. One day, the effect of the spirit of wonder at the 6th level of the God King realm was greatly reduced. At this time, Lin Mo Yu's physical body was still at the 1st level of the God King realm, but it was much stronger than when he first entered the 1st level of the God King realm. From that day on, Lin Mo Yu began to hunt spirits of wonder at the 7th level of the God King realm. There are a lot of spirits of wonder, but the higher the level, the more the number will decrease significantly. Especially the spirits of wonder at the 9th level of the God King realm, he had only seen them a dozen times in more than 100 days. Lin Mo Yu recorded all their locations. One spirit of wonder at the 7th level of the God King realm after another was killed and turned into slaves in the Bone Hell, and Lin Mo Yu's physical body began to improve rapidly again. Finally, on the 200th day after he entered, his physical body burst out with a dazzling golden light. 3. Golden light illuminated the vast expanse of space, and Lin Mo Yu stood within it, his expression solemn, radiating an aura of majesty. He possessed an imposing presence, his flesh rippling beneath his robes as blood surged through his veins, creating sounds akin to crashing waves. Accompanying the beating of his heart, a tremendous sound reverberated and boomed through the void. Lin Mo Yu could clearly feel the immense power surging from every corner of his body. With the second stage of the Divine King Golden Body, he could not only shatter stars with a single punch but also obliterate enemies of the same realm. If a Divine King Stage 2 cultivator were to cast a spell on him, he could shatter it with a single punch. Even low-grade Divine King realm magical treasures would find it difficult to harm him in the slightest. These preconditions were based on Lin Mo Yu not resisting in any way, not using damage transfer, and suppressing his own talents. Sometimes Lin Mo Yu would think that his defense was already freakishly strong. It was almost impossible for a lesser Divine Venerable to kill him, and even a Divine Venerable would find it troublesome. The strength of his physical body could only be considered icing on the cake, playing no decisive role. Yet he still did it, seemingly driven by an instinct. He wanted to become stronger, to lay the most solid foundation, to look forward to the infinitely high realm, and to defy fate for his beloved wife. Therefore, every step had to be taken firmly and flawlessly. 200 days, the advancement of the physical body in the Divine King realm is indeed very slow, far slower than in the true God realm, and also very dangerous. No wonder people in the great world basically choose to cultivate their physical bodies. I'm already fast enough. If it were someone else, it would take 100 years for their physical body to advance from Divine King Stage 1 to Divine King Stage 2. I'm more than 100 times faster. Lin Mo Yu clenched his fist, and a booming sound erupted from it. His eyes flashed with a sharp light as he swept them across the void. Let's continue. Divine King Stage 2 was not the end, he could continue to improve. There were still more than 2 years until the 4-star region competition, and he could further enhance his physical body. Lin Mo Yu's name had been prominently displayed on the 3 major rankings of the Vermilion Bird Star region for 2 years. In those 2 years, the list of rankings had constantly changed, but no one could shake Lin Mo Yu's position. Although achieving first place in all 3 rankings was not easy, someone always managed to do it every 100 years or so, achieving the top spot with unparalleled talent. Such people were all top geniuses, regarded as idols and role models by countless people in the Vermilion Bird Star region. Lin Mo Yu was the genius of this era, praised by countless people. As Lin Mo Yu's fame grew, his birth and origins were also dug up. Only then did everyone know that Lin Mo Yu originally came from a small world. Resources were scarce in the small world, and those who could come out of the small world were generally geniuses. However, compared to some geniuses in the great world, they were always a little behind. In history, no genius from a small world had ever reached first place in all 3 rankings, and Lin Mo Yu was the first. Lin Mo Yu's information became increasingly detailed, until a piece of information was leaked, and the entire Vermilion Bird Star region was completely shocked. This information was very simple, only one sentence. Lin Mo Yu was only 28 years old when he accepted the great world's baptism. Achieving transcendent divinity, leaving the small world, entering the great world, and accepting baptism. This was a necessary process for leaving the small world. Achieving transcendent divinity at the age of 28 was simply a miracle. At first, no one believed it, until the Hall of the God of War confirmed that it was true, and then no one doubted it. Some busybodies even revealed that Xiao Zontian had also achieved transcendent divinity at the age of 28, and Lin Mo Yu was actually the same as Xiao Zontian. That was the God of War. He could actually be on par with the God of War. Lin Mo Yu's fame reached its peak, spreading throughout the entire Vermilion Bird Star region, and then spreading to the battlefield. Lin Mo Yu was no longer just an idol, he was already regarded as a myth by many people. Some even said that Lin Moyu was the second god of war. At this time, even more news came out, and many races that had grudges against the human race, such as the Golden Eagle clan and the Three Silver clan, listed Lin Moyu as someone who must be eliminated. They would not allow a second Shaozantian to appear. As for the Demon clan, there was no need to say anything, they had long placed Lin Moyu at the top of their kill list. Chapter 14:18. Smiling, seated among the stars, gazing at the world. Many people came upon hearing the news, entering the battlefield, their purpose not to do tasks but to see Lin Moyu. They really wanted to see what kind of genius could reach transcendent divinity at the age of 28. But unfortunately, Lin Moyu seemed to have evaporated from the world, disappearing without a trace. Lin Moyu had not handed over any tasks in the past 2 years, nor had he made a single transaction in the trading center. No one knew where he had gone, not even those with the most well-informed sources. Among those who came, some were skilled in divination, but they could not calculate Lin Moyu's whereabouts. Some even suspected that Lin Moyu was already dead. Deepest part of the Land of Wonders, the central area. Lin Moyu looked at the huge lost star, his eyes filled with contemplation. His body radiated brilliant golden light. At this time, his Divine King golden body was still at the second stage, but it was not far from the third stage. After the physical body reached Divine King Stage 2, at least Divine King Stage 7 spirits of wonders would be helpful to the physical body. However, the number of spirits of wonders above Divine King Stage 7 was not large. Lin Moyu almost swept away all the spirits of wonders, and even the only dozen or so Divine King Stage 9 spirits of wonders were killed by him. As a result, the physical body was still at Divine King Stage 2, a little short of Divine King Stage 3. The spirits of wonders could not be regenerated in a short period of time. If he wanted to continue to improve, he could only enter the central area. Lin Moyu entered the central area for the second time, feeling the immense pressure in the central area. Previously, he relied on damage transfer to be able to move in the central area. This time, without activating damage transfer, he could already move freely on the edge of the central area. The pressure from all directions constantly squeezed the physical body, pressing the physical body to shine with golden light. Lin Moyu felt the changes in his physical body, knowing that in this situation, it would not be possible to improve his physical body in a few decades or hundreds of years. It seems that I can only give up for now. Lin Moyu sighed. It was indeed difficult to improve the physical body to his level. Unless there was a great opportunity, in most cases, he could only rely on time to accumulate. His eyes looked at the lost star in the center, where countless laws were intertwined. Some Lin Moyu recognized, and some he did not. But without exception, they all belonged to the laws of the great world, and they were very pure. Although the Land of Wonders was located in the battlefield, it did not have the slightest breath of the battlefield. Lin Moyu's omnipresent squeezing pressure was actually the battlefield's attack on this area. Suddenly, a flash of inspiration came to his mind, and his expression was strange. Why is it so similar to my undying law? If the power of death in the undying law is compared to the battlefield, and the power of life is compared to the great world. In the core full of the power of life, there will also be a point of pure and powerful power of death. Conversely, the center of the power of death will also contain a trace of life. There is no absolute life and death in the world, and there is no absolute yin and yang. Everything has two sides. If the great world is yang and the battlefield is yin, then the Land of Wonders is the nail that the great world planted in the battlefield. Lin Moyu had a feeling of sudden enlightenment. The great world had actually been resisting the battlefield all along. To the great world, the battlefield was like a robber who broke in. The battlefield had its own rules, destroying the unity of the great world. In the resistance against the battlefield, a balance was finally formed. The great world formed pieces of Land of Wonders inside the battlefield, and the two sides formed a certain degree of balance. He didn't quite understand when he saw the Land of Wonders before, but now he finally understood. No wonder even the ancient Buddha palm print could not destroy the lost star. The Land of Wonders was a nail planted by the great world in the battlefield, and it was the key to maintaining balance. To destroy it was to go against the entire great world. Therefore, even if the ancient Buddha himself were to descend, he would not be able to shake the lost stars. Lin Moyu was even less likely to succeed. If he continued to approach, his fate would probably not be much better than the ancient Buddha's palm print. Lin Mo Yu looked at the lost stars for a while, and said calmly, if one day I can touch the lost stars without injury, it means that I have truly stood at the top of the world. After saying that, Lin Mo Yu turned and left. This trip was complete, perfectly advancing to God King, obtaining the God King golden body, further advancing his physical body to the second rank of God King, understanding the essence of the mysterious land, and resolving the guaranteed kill of the ancient Buddha's palm print. Now that he was about to leave, he felt emotional for a moment. Lin Mo Yu suddenly burst into laughter, his heroic spirit soaring to the sky, laughing, I sit among the stars and look upon the world, controlling life and death, I am the king. One day, I, Lin Mo Yu, will descend upon the Buddhist race to demand justice. By then, the Buddhist race will be plunged into misery, but no one else can be blamed. Today's cause, tomorrow's effect, sooner or later it must be repaid. The mysterious land had been emptied, leaving only some existences of the third and fourth ranks of God King. Lin Mo Yu ignored them and quickly passed through the 10th layer of the region, returning to the 9th layer of the region. In the 9th layer of the region, Xiao Sheng sensed something, opened his eyes, and saw Lin Mo Yu. Junior brother Lin has returned, it seems that the harvest is not bad. Xiao Sheng laughed loudly, at this time he swept away the twilight of the past, his spirit was radiant. The injuries to his soul had improved a lot, and at this moment he was full of energy, faintly revealing an aura similar to that of a god venerate. He had originally advanced to god venerate, but his soul had not yet recovered, and he had not entered the Lost Star River. When his soul was healed, stepping into the Lost Star River, he would be a genuine god venerate. Lin Mo Yu came to Xiao Sheng's front, senior brother Xiao is about to recover, congratulations. Xiao Sheng laughed, all thanks to junior brother Lin, otherwise I'm afraid I wouldn't have been able to get through this hurdle. Junior brother Lin, rest assured, the heads of 100 god venerates will definitely be offered. With Xiao Sheng's strength, as long as he truly stepped into god venerate, even if he was only at the first rank of god venerate, he would be enough to contend with the third rank of god venerate. The heads of 100 god venerates was not impossible. Lin Mo Yu asked, senior brother Xiao, do you know if there is a faster way to improve the realm of the physical body? Xiao Sheng shook his head, difficult, there are ways to improve the physical body, but I don't know if you want to improve quickly. After Xiao Sheng was injured, he stayed here for more than 200 years. The squeezing pressure of the 9th layer had always been tempering his physical body, causing his physical body to finally advance to the peak of the second rank of God King, only a line away from the third rank. If it weren't for the injury to his soul, Xiao Sheng could have entered the 10th layer of the region, truly pushing his physical body to the third rank of God King. Thinking about it, when his injury recovered, Xiao Sheng would inevitably enter the 10th layer, causing his physical body to step into the third rank of God King. Lin Mo Yu was not disappointed, physical body cultivation was originally very difficult. Otherwise, the various races in the great world would not give up cultivating the physical body and instead focus on the path of the soul realm. After Xiao Sheng pondered, he suddenly spoke, perhaps there is a way to quickly improve the physical body. Lin Mo Yu's eyes lit up, senior brother Xiao, please speak. The demon god stone of the starry sky demon god race, perhaps it is possible. Xiao Sheng said, and then added, however, the demon god stone is hard to come by, and there seem to be some other problems, I am not very clear about the specifics. It didn't matter that Xiao Sheng didn't know, Zhu Qiwu would definitely know. Lin Mo Yu bowed to Xiao Sheng, thank you, senior brother Xiao. Outside the mysterious land, Zhu Qiwu sat quietly cross-legged. Lin Mo Yu had entered the mysterious land for 2 years. His main body, just one meditation retreat, could be 10 years or 100 years. 2 years of time, just passed in a flash, it was nothing. At this time, he slowly opened his eyes, looked at the mysterious land, and showed a smile, that brat is finally back. His aura is stable, his soul and body are intertwined and balanced, without defects or omissions, it seems that he has perfectly advanced. Chapter 14:19. Do you want to become a demon god race? A stream of light rushed out from within the mysterious land, and then adjusted its direction and flew towards Zhu Qiwu. A few seconds later, Lin Mo Yu had already arrived in front of Zhu Qiwu, cupping his fists and saluting, sorry to have kept you waiting, senior. Zhu Qiwu smiled, I almost killed you before, do you blame this old man? Lin Mo Yu smiled and shook his head, you are joking, Junior has never had such thoughts. Zhu Qiwu could naturally tell whether what Lin Mo Yu said was true or false, He looked Lin Moyu up and down, revealing a look of satisfaction. Not bad, not bad, perfectly advanced to God King, achieving the God King golden body. Your physical body should be more than just the first rank of God King, right? Lin Moyu nodded in acknowledgement, second rank of God King. Zhu Qiwu was even more satisfied. Tell me, how did you resolve the matter of the ancient Buddha's palm print? Lin Moyu did not hide anything and told the whole story of what happened that day. When he heard Lin Moyu's method of resolving it, Zhu Qiwu couldn't help but say, good, several times in a row. Lin Moyu's method of resolving it had both brute force and skill, adapting to changes and adjusting at all times. Without using his life-saving trump card, he resolved this guaranteed death situation. Lin Moyu also told Zhu Qiwu about the abilities of the Buddhist kingdom witch demon, wanting to hear Zhu Qiwu's views. He was very curious about the law of fate. The ability to predict the future was really practical. At the same time, he was also wary of the Buddhist race. It was indeed terrifying that the Buddhist race could have such a secret technique. If one day he descended upon the Buddhist race, he would definitely have to be well prepared. Zhu Qiwu said, the peering truth technique is indeed a secret technique of the Buddhist race. Only Buddhist disciples and Buddhists can practice it, and very few can successfully practice it. The concept of cultivating spells acquired and awakening innate skills and then upgrading them to spells is completely different. Innate awakened skills only exist in whether or not they can be upgraded to spells, and there are three possibilities: planetary level or stellar level. And to learn new spells acquired and form spell planets, the degree of difficulty is extremely high. Especially spells like the peering truth technique that are related to the law of fate are even more difficult. In this way, Lai Buddha can also be considered a genius in the Buddhist race, but at that time he was able to enter the nether swamp with senior brother Shu and sit down as a Buddha and save his life. It is indeed extraordinary diaresis. Lin Moyu fairly evaluated Lai Buddha, without deliberately belittling him. He never underestimated any enemy, especially the Buddhist race, even more so. Since he had added the Buddhist race to his blacklist, he naturally had to learn more about his opponents. Zhu Qiwu said with a smile, the grandson of the ancient Buddha, with extraordinary bloodline, is naturally different from ordinary people. But you don't have to worry too much. No one in the Buddhist race controls the law of fate. The peering truth technique was also obtained by the Buddhist race by accident. More information about the Buddhist race: when you enter the divine city one day and have enough qualifications, you can see it. And by then, the information about the Buddhist race will also be updated. Zhu Qiwu seemed to see through Lin Moyu's thoughts and threw a hook at Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu looked at Zhu Qiwu, as the information about the Buddhist race updated regularly. Zhu Qiwu laughed a few times and did not answer, which meant that he was saying, you guess. Lin Moyu did have some guesses in his heart, but he was not very sure. He also knew that Zhu Qiwu was tempting him to go to the divine city. Okay, I will go to the divine city to see for myself. Zhu Qiwu said, let's go. We should go back. A lot of things have happened since you left for 2 years. What exactly happened, you will know when you go back. The 4-star region competition will start in less than 2 years. I have already told Zhu Tian that I will give you a spot. Before the competition starts, I will come to pick you up. A sense of gratitude rose in Lin Moyu's heart. Zhu Qiwu was really good to him. Zhu Qiwu patted Lin Moyu on the shoulder. Little guy, work hard. The human race needs a genius like you. This chicken soup was given in a timely manner. Lin Moyu did not respond. He had long passed the age of being moved by chicken soup. Lin Moyu changed the subject. Senior, Lin has heard that the demon god stone can quickly improve the physical body. Zhu Qiwu rolled his eyes at him. Xiao Sheng told you, right? Lin Moyu hummed. I have already healed his injury. Zhu Qiwu knew that he had the ability to heal soul trauma, bringing him here. In addition to letting him perfectly advance to God King, there was another purpose, which was to heal Xiao Sheng's injury. However, Zhu Qiwu did not say it explicitly. He should have wanted to see if he would take the initiative to take action. After all, he would even take action for He Renqing, let alone Xiao Sheng. It was also because Zhu Qiwu did not say it, so he did not deliberately go to Xiao Sheng to treat his injury. This favor belonged to him. If Zhu Qiwu had said it, and he had taken the initiative to find Xiao Sheng, this favor would at least be taken over by Zhu Qiwu for the most part. Lin Moyu could understand Zhu Qiwu's intentions. Zhu Qiwu did not have too much reaction. His tone was very calm. The demon god stone can indeed quickly improve the strength of the physical body. The four source races each have their own characteristics, among them the starry sky demon god race is known for having the strongest physical body. Lin Mo Yu asked strangely, isn't the dragon race the strongest physical body? 5. Zhu Qiwu said, currently, the dragon race is indeed the strongest. When the starry sky demon god race was still around, the dragon race's physical body could only rank second. The demon god stones within the starry sky demon god race can indeed rapidly enhance the physical body, but they also have fatal flaws. Using a large number of demon god stones will cause the physical body to transform towards the demon god race, and even the bloodline will change. At that point, you will no longer be a human race, but a starry sky demon god race. Would you still want to use them? Zhu Qiwu looked at Lin Mo with a smile that was not a smile. Lin Mo quickly shook his head. Forget it, let's leave such good things for others. He is a human race, and it is impossible to abandon the fundamental for the sake of power. The human race is also one of the four source races and has its own advantages. Moreover, the starry sky demon god race is already gone, but the human race still exists today. In any case, the human race is stronger. Zhu Qiwu continued, that kid Xiao Sheng only knows one thing but not the other. But it doesn't matter, there aren't many demon god stones left in the world, and they have all been controlled by us. Ordinary people can't get them anyway. Using low-level demon god stones occasionally is still fine, so you don't need to worry. Lin Mo naturally knew whether his bloodline had changed, so he wasn't worried. The human race is like this, taking the essence and discarding the dross, using everything that can be used, and finding ways to use what cannot be used. Li Hao's Lin Mo gave up the idea of using demon god stones, but he didn't give up the idea of enhancing his physical body. Besides demon god stones, are there any other ways to quickly enhance the physical body? Zhu Qiwu said, of course there are, but not here, but in God City. Another bait was thrown out, as if Zhu Qiwu was afraid that Lin Mo wouldn't go to God City. Lin Mo said in his heart, actually, you don't have to do this. I will definitely go to God City. He also said at the same time, then I will try my best to go to God City. Zhu Qiwu said seriously, there is less than 2 years left to complete the chain missions, and then participate in the 4-star region competition, at least get into the top 3. The 4-star region is full of geniuses, and there are also seed players from the War God Temple. It is very difficult to get into the top 3. However, Lin Mo was confident in himself. No problem, but there are some guys in the chain missions who are not on the battlefield, making it difficult to do. Zhu Qiwu smiled inscrutably, those guys are already here. Chapter 1420. Too much fame isn't always a good thing. Lin Mo returned to Fortress No. 1 alone, still thinking about Zhu Qiwu's words. Zhu Qiwu didn't tell him what exactly happened. His strange expression made Lin Mo's mind wander. As soon as he walked out of the teleportation array, he suddenly heard exclamations. He is Lin Mo. Lin Mo is back. So that's Lin Mo, he's really young. Not only is he young, but he also looks good. If I could become his Tao companion. A figure comparable to the god of war, a transcendent god realm at 28 years old, truly extraordinary. The exclamations were accompanied by a surge of majestic power of faith, like a wave. Outside the teleportation array, there were a large number of cultivators, with almost all eyes focused on him. Among them, the gazes of several cultivators were even more like wolves and tigers. Lin Mo, who was used to seeing big scenes of life and death, was stunned at this moment. Now he completely understood why Zhu Qiwu's expression was so strange and why he had to come back alone. These people were all his fans, and the most fanatical ones at that, providing him with a large amount of power of faith. Lin Mo couldn't do anything to these people, after all, they were all his fans, and everyone was from the human race. Fortunately, they are still restrained and haven't rushed over. As soon as this thought arose, Lin Mo realized something was wrong. It wasn't that they were very restrained, but that there were troops managing them in the sky. 1,000-man army in the air formed a semi-encirclement, with a stern aura, managing this area. It wasn't that those people were restrained, but that there were troops suppressing them. Lin Mo breathed a sigh of relief, the military is still reliable. Senior Zhu must have known this, so he didn't come. If these fans all rushed over, even he wouldn't know how to deal with it. He couldn't hit them, he couldn't scold them, it was more of a headache than facing the enemy race. A majestic voice suddenly came from the air, Officer Lin, please board the warship. Lin Mo recognized the voice of Ke Yuanjun, the Legion commander of Fortress No. 1. He didn't expect him to come too. Outside the fortress in the starry sky, a huge god Venerable class warship was docked, with the warship door open and Ke Yuanjun standing in front of it. His voice was like heavenly music, rescuing Lin Mo from danger. Without saying a word, Lin Mo transformed into a stream of light and appeared in front of Ke Yuanjun almost instantly. With a hint of gratitude, Commander Ke, thank you. Ke Yuanjun was an experienced person, and laughed, you're welcome, who told you to be a celebrity now? Lin Mo smiled bitterly, everyone is a cultivator, who would have thought? At Ke Yuanjun's invitation, Lin Mo entered the warship. Although Ke Yuanjun was a god venerable, and also the Legion commander, with the rank of general, he had no airs at all and was extremely polite to Lin Mo. One reason was that as long as Lin Mo didn't die, his future achievements would not be below him. The second reason was that Ke Yuanjun's personal disciple was also rescued because of Lin Mo, and was even being treated by Lin Mo's laws. Ke Yuanjun remembered Lin Mo's kindness. Imperceptibly, Ke Yuanjun had already regarded Lin Mo as a figure of the same level as himself. After entering the warship slowly flew away from Fortress No. 1. Lin Mo took the initiative to ask, Commander, did you call me for any instructions? Ke Yuanjun said, there are no instructions. I just received a message from the garrison lord, so I came to welcome you. Sure enough, Zhu Qiwu had expected this to happen. Lin Mo silently recorded this dead on Zhu Qiwu's account. Ke Yuanjun took out a mask, this is what the garrison lord asked me to prepare for you. Lin Mo found the mask somewhat familiar. After thinking about it, he remembered that Jiyu Qingshan also had the exact same mask before. However, Jiyu Qingshan was using the mask in the Human Emperor network at the time. Lin Mo didn't enter the Human Emperor network many times, so he didn't pay attention to it, and even almost forgot about it. Taking the mask, he cast a detection spell. Concealment Mask. God King Realm, Human Emperor Magic Treasure, can be used in reality and in the Human Emperor network, changes appearance, conceals aura, cannot be seen through below God Venerable Realm. He didn't expect that the mask Jiyu Qingshan used at the beginning, which seemed inconspicuous, was actually a Human Emperor Magic Treasure. The Human Emperor Magic Treasure is a very special magic treasure. It exists simultaneously in the real world and the Human Emperor network. There is one in the real world, and the exact same virtual magic treasure will also appear in the Human Emperor network. According to Lin Mo's understanding, this magic treasure has been registered in the Human Emperor network. The Human Emperor network knows all its CHFB functions, so it can also exert the same effect in the Human Emperor network as in reality. As far as Lin Mo knew, there were countless strange and diverse magic treasures, more than hundreds of millions of types. So it is impossible for every piece to become a Human Emperor magic treasure. Therefore, there are not many Human Emperor magic treasures. Most of the magic treasures used in the Human Emperor network are virtual magic treasures created by the Human Emperor network, which are all the same standard magic treasures. Lin Mo tried it out. After putting on the concealment mask, his appearance and aura completely changed. And it can also be finely adjusted according to his own requirements. Soon, Lin Mo became another person. His delicate and clean appearance became rough and burly, and his eyes also revealed fierceness, with a bit of a fierce god's aura. If he changed his clothes again, he would not be able to recognize his original appearance at all. The original Lin Mo was gentle and refined, but now he had a fierce look, as if everyone owed him hundreds of millions of points. Ke Yuanjun laughed, whose appearance did you change into? Lin Mo said, a senior named Kai Huo. Ke Yuanjun pondered, I seem to have heard this name somewhere. Okay, the garrison lord's instructions have been completed. Where are you going next? Lin Mo said, I'm going to the trading center, and then I have to pick up a mission. Before the 4-star region competition, Lin Mo had to complete the chain missions. There were less than 2 years left, which was not much. Lin Mo's speed of performing tasks was already fast enough. Many people took decades or hundreds of years to complete chain missions. One of the chain missions required killing the top 10 people on the Vermilion Bird bounty list on the battlefield. This task was the most troublesome. If these people did not enter the Vermilion Bird battlefield, then it would be difficult for him to complete it. 6. That was the reason why I couldn't complete it before. But analyzing Zhu Qiwu's words, these people seem to have arrived. Kei Yuanjin said, recently we've done some things, the situation on the battlefield has changed, becoming more dangerous than before, you need to be careful. Lin Moyu asked, what things? Kei Yuanjin smiled, aren't you going to the trading center? That Miss Yu from the Yu family knows everything, it's easier for you young people to communicate, just ask her. What happens in Fortress Number 1 basically can't be hidden from Kei Yuanjin. Every time Lin Moyu finishes at the trading center and returns to the military merit office to certify his merits, Kei Yuanjin naturally knows everything. It's not difficult to analyze the relationship between Lin Moyu and Yu Zhu from this. The Yu family has its own channels for information, and the military naturally has its own intelligence system. Lin Moyu didn't seem surprised at all. Okay, I'll go ask her. There is a small teleportation array in the warship. Through the teleportation array, Lin Moyu returned to Fortress No. 1. At this time, he had already transformed into Kai Huo's appearance, and his clothes had also been changed, making him look burly. The people surrounding the teleportation array only glanced at him a few times before ceasing to pay attention. Lin Moyu relied on the cloak of invisibility to slip away to the trading center. At this time, he felt that being famous wasn't necessarily a good thing, it could also bring trouble.